Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Picklebear podcast. I am Appalachia's okayest sound guy, Goose, with your hosts, Brooke and River, and a new special guest, Koner.
Howdy there, Koner. That's all I got to say.
That's all he has.
I'm just Koner, man.
That's it.
No, Connor. So a second ago, I was eating white cheddar popcorn, right? But the problem is I was also dealing with some hydraulic oil while unhooking the hydraulics to a dump trailer for a tractor. So my hands kind of like had all the white cheddar, like the cheese particles. They stuck to it.
Kinky.
And, you know, while our friend Goose was doing the podcast or the intro, you see, I was licking my fingers, and I could definitely taste the hydraulic fluid.
Fingers.
I could taste the hydraulic fluid. It does not taste good.
This is getting so kinky.
I should have asked you this before we started, but do you want a drink?
I'll get you a drink, man.
We'll get you a drink if
What's
you
there to
want.
drink?
We have a butler.
I don't know if we have much.
Tim.
Our butler.
There's sodas upstairs. There's, if I'm not
No, I got
mistaken.
those gallons in here.
Our butler looks to be busy.
I got a gallon
I'm
of cream
not gonna
soda.
ask him.
Oh yeah, we do
You
have
want
cream soda.
Cream soda is the best of sodas.
Is this the
Root
homemade
beer
cream soda?
I drink any day. What?
Is this the homemade cream soda?
No, I haven't.
We haven't
it's-
started that yet.
See, homemade cream soda would consist of vanilla,
Like-
and with inflation nowadays, I can't afford that much vanilla.
Soda. There's a cream soda in there. Just pour 4 glasses out. I think we all want it.
Get to it, butler.
Yeah.
Thank you. Give
No,
you $1.
Stop playing freaking Battlefield 5. Get the
Hey.
cream soda.
Jamie.
Man,
Are you not getting paid enough?
this is the worst butler I've ever seen.
Okay.
That's root beer.
That's
That's
Get
fine.
cream
Cream
soda.
Cream
soda.
soda? What do you mean? Okay, well, keep the root beer out then. You okay
Are
with
you
root
sure it's
beer?
gone? I doubt that. I think he's stupid.
Okay, I don't know.
Brooke, I think it was great that you hired the autistic kid, but really?
We're equal opportunity employer.
Okay, so well, yeah. So, you know, that does remind me the whole introduction where we were talking. The whole introduction when we were talking about licking like popcorn dust off your fingers while I was covered in hydraulic fluid. I'd like to also transition. I feel like we need to make our children more dirty. Like, let them play in the dirt.
Make them
Oh,
eat
I thought
dirt.
you meant the
Yeah,
other
that's
way.
not.
No,
that's not a good way to
okay,
phrase
that
it.
sounded really bad. Yeah, not like cuties. I want it to be like, let your kids play in the dirt. Don't make them wash their hands as much. Don't make them so clean because,
Okay.
you can definitely tell there's an impact.
What
on
do you
them.
wanna
What's
make
your
kids
reasoning
tougher?
behind this?
What?
What's your reasoning?
Well, the immune system is stronger in children,
Is that
like
been
farm
proven?
children. Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that-
it has been
Oh,
actually.
Build the immune
But they'd
system.
also be
Yeah, builds
tougher
it.
than too, because I was doing research today, and there is okay, so even
Oh,
vegetables.
thank you very much, Blake.
Oh yeah, he brought the soda.
Thank you.
Where's mine?
Yeah, just take this one.
But I was doing research and
Take it. I already have tea.
Yeah, you do. Only 3.
like,
Oh, never mind.
so
You can drink one.
even vegetables like peas and carrots and crap have a good amount of estrogen in them, and I think that's probably why.
Wait, shit. I mean, carrots have estrogen in them?
Yes, vegetables.
Dude,
Lots of
that's like-
vegetables have estrogen in them.
That's why I minimize my vegetable intake.
All food has that in because animals
No,
also have
no,
that.
I used to eat carrots all the time.
It's I only eat
It's
male.
more-
explains
yeah,
a lot.
Meat has it, but way more than meat. It's just vegetables. I was like, bruh, vegetables are making everybody pussies. Parents are always like, eat your vegetables. Now people are actually eating their vegetables, and now they're pussies.
And now look at America.
Okay, you want to really trigger some people though? I was telling them about how birth control and the water supply was causing an increase in estrogen and a lowering of testosterone in males. They these guys were farm guys too. I was working with them at the township, and they were getting pissed off at me for even bringing that up. I'm like, dude, it's true. It's there's studies proving that. I'm like, they say these chemicals, everybody makes fun of Alex Jones for it, but putting chemicals in the water
Well,
that
yeah,
turn
no,
into
that
frogs.
was
That's
true.
It's true.
But
Yeah.
It was like fluoride or something. Well, I mean, they put fluoride in our water for teeth and
For
stuff.
teeth,
but
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
I don't know
also
what
like
chemical-
medication.
I thought they weren't gay. They were just mutating the frogs horribly.
Well, no, it was
some
making them.
amphibians can change sexes
Yeah.
though.
Frogs,
So-
if there's a imbalance in the population, they can actually change gender.
So it's Isn't that clownfish? They're all born male, and then the alpha one turns female.
Probably. This
That's
guy was
very
so
unbased.
alpha.
This.
he turned into-
Unbased.
Yeah, I had clownfish for a while, and then my fish tank. I spent like $200 in this fish tank. I was so proud of it. It looked really good in the corner of my room. And then all of a sudden, the power went out in the middle of the night, and I never woke up. And I wake up, and everything is dead.
That's the auto team balancing. This guy's too good, so we're gonna make him a woman.
God damn it.
So like,
It takes the best man. I mean, sometimes the best man is an even better woman.
yeah, but
I
like
don't
there is like a.
Sometimes it takes a man to be a woman. I don't know.
It's like, but but you look at like what
Takes
what
a
all
man to be a woman. Can I get that on my T-shirt?
We'll start selling those T-shirts.
Yeah, we need to start a
Takes
T-shirt.
a man to
business.
be a woman.
So like, yeah, but like that is 100% true that like the what happened was there was like in populations in the wild like they would change genders this many times, you know, but like they were finding it was just like it was increasing every year.
It was directly proportional to the amount of chemicals they were sticking in the water supply or something. I guess.
Exactly. But like even when I showed them that, they were like, "That's not true." And I'm like, "Listen, you can look at these charts, and if you compared your the amount of testosterone and estrogen from you compared to somebody from like the 30s, I said it is completely different. I said you have a lot less testosterone and a lot more estrogen than a man did back then." And I said, and I mean, there's nothing we can really do about it.
Yeah.
Eat less vegetables, more red meat. Carnivore diet.
Well, I was
Well,
thinking.
it's also just in the water supply.
Well, I mean,
I'm
that's
saying
the
we
well
all
water.
just carnivore diet.
Yeah, we have well water at our house.
Yeah.
Don't drink the gay water.
Don't drink the gay water.
City water, yeah. But like, I was wondering if like the gender of like the animal in which meat you're consuming, if like you know like testosterone and estrogen, if that has any impact on your diet as well. You know what I mean?
We don't eat does when we shoot them.
You
we
don't?
just throw all that deer. we throw all that meat away.
It's like, damn,
I'm not eating the gay meat.
damn! I thought it was a button buck. Guess I'll throw it away. Okay. Well,
But why did they get so offended? Those guys.
I don't know. I could say anything to them, and they'd get upset with it. It was really weird. It was like, I was like, yeah, we don't have as much testosterone. They're like, yeah, we do. There's no difference. And I'm like, guys, it's fine. It's like a proven fact. I'm like, you know, you can push through that, I guess.
Guys,
just
it's
doubt.
fine. It's fine. You're less of a man than those people.
Well, it's like you
80
can't-
years ago.
I'm like, you
He's
can.
also saying that he is.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
all
Like,
are.
yeah, we
It's
all
just-
are. It's like it's reality, and they're like trying to ignore it. But like they're like, that's not true. It's like not, and they're like, it's so stupid about the gay frogs and stuff. And I'm like, listen, it's there's truth to it, and it is impacting you right now, even if you don't feel it. I'm like, you know,
Feel the gayness.
yeah.
Every time I drink water from the city water, I feel the estrogen levels in my body.
urge.
Whenever I go
Feel
to
the
Pittsburgh,
need to go buy
I
some
just
Apple
don't even
products.
drink anything.
It's like I feel like every time I drink water, it might quench my thirst, but it makes my desire for pumpkin spice grow.
It quenches my thirst for the drink, but increases my thirst for the male.
Looking mighty thirsty over there. Okay, well,
Like, the
This
guy's
is
just
an
drinking-
interesting topic.
yeah, this
The guy's
isn't
just drinking
interesting.
some water, and he looks at this guy. He's like, "Damn, you got sexy all of a sudden."
It's like, damn, I don't know what's in this water. It's Bill Cosby. Did you hear he's out?
Bill Cosby?
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
wait,
he's
wasn't
out.
he
No
pretending
way.
to be...
Old news.
Or no, he was partially blind.
Is that how
the
he
guy
got
that I'm
out?
thinking of? He was like partially blind, but then he looked up at the sun whenever he got out, and people were like, "Guys, he's not blind. He's just pretending to be blind to
I
get
don't
sympathy."
know.
I was like, "He's not fully blind," and even like a lot of blind people can still see differences in light like that.
I mean, that's where they call the distinction between being legally blind and like
and completely.
yeah.
Like, I'm legally blind without my glasses.
Really?
Yes.
I know my ex-girlfriend was, but her glasses were like maybe a quarter-inch thick. Like they were just freaking huge.
Yeah. She looked like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but just she did.
Yeah, and like when you like her eyes always look small with her glasses on, but like as soon as she'd take them off, like her eyes were like actually very large. It was really weird. But yeah, people when they River used to not wear glasses, but now he does, and
I can't see without him now.
when he doesn't wear them, he looks weird. It's very strange.
Yeah.
No, he just kind of looks like River without glasses.
So River, I gotta ask, what's up with the slickness lately? Like you've been slicking your hair back.
That's what I do.
Yeah, but what inspired you?
Started
to do
He
that?
has that high speed, low drag haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm gotta go fast.
I don't know, man. I like it.
It looks like you dipped your head in like a grease trap. Honestly.
Oh, is it flat right now? Oh, it's probably because I had a
Well,
helmet
no, it's
on.
like swept back.
You just had a helmet on.
Yeah, I
too.
had a helmet on.
Oh yeah, that is true.
You're wearing a wife beater under this shirt too?
No,
No.
I
Signature.
didn't do that today.
So
It was too hot. I mean, I was sweating
What
and
do you
I
have
was
behind you?
outside in just a t-shirt.
what's behind you?
Behind me?
No,
That's a
behind you.
lamp.
You just moved the bag. Was that
America's
Bro,
favorite
you
finger
hiding
puppets?
this
America's-
jumping on the couch?
Connor almost crushed them with a pillow.
I was watching Tosh.0 and like
A finger hat.
yeah, he had them like his finger hats, but he had them on his hand and like somebody why did he do that? I don't remember. Yeah, but he like killed people with them.
He was killing people. He stabbed a guy
What?
in the stomach with him.
Yeah.
Like Edward
Are you
Scissorhands.
talking like
Yeah, like he had like bugles on his hand, like on his fingers, and he was like,
He went and he like cut this woman's face off in her eye. He grabbed her eyes out, or like he stabbed her in the stomach.
yeah, and then he
too.
ate one after he was
And
done.
then he
These
ate
ones are
one
too
and he
flat
died.
to put on my
I
fingers.
mean, he's not gonna let him go to waste.
Bugles are like nobody really talks about bugles, but they're everywhere.
Like bugles and spinach dip sounds delicious to me.
That is good. I have tried that before. And okay, how about this, guys? I have a good question. What's your favorite dip? Like, never. And by the way, everybody in the comments, I want you to put down and tell me what your favorite dip is. This is the
Right.
first question.
We
Then
need
we'll
to
rank
write-
the
write
best
a-
dips.
Yeah, we're
for my
gonna.
viewers next
Actually,
time.
that would be an interesting show if we like get a bunch of dips. Not like I'm talking like dips, like with chip dip.
Yeah.
Not like tobacco. We're not dippers, but we're interested in dip. Like,
Yeah.
And if there's not a doctoral dissertation in
You see, they have marijuana dip now.
if somebody doesn't write a doctoral dissertation
Like
on
made out of
what
cannabis
your favorite
dip.
dip is,
Yeah.
Which kind
No,
of
I
dip
don't
you
know.
mean,
It's got.
River?
I think it's just got the oil in it, but it might be the normal tobacco dip. But with
oh,
oil in
okay.
it.
Never mind. River, we're talking about chip dip.
I'm talking about dip you put in your cheek and you go.
This is why we have to
Going
make the
for an
distinction.
Yeah,
hour.
we have to make the distinction. So we're gonna have our favorite chip dip. Everybody put it in the comments. We might do a taste test if you guys send in.
You gotta buy them. You have to pay for
If you send in on our
buying
Instagram
this.
page, message us, and we will look at your messages. And if
Wait, we have an
a recipe
Instagram page?
sounds interesting, we'll try to
Yeah,
make
we
it.
have
And we'll
Instagram
test
page.
Or
it.
Yeah.
leave it in the
Instagram?
comments
Let
on
me look this
YouTube
up.
or Rumble.
Wait,
Comment or send it on Instagram.
We have an Instagram.
Yeah, we just I sent you the Instagram.
Bro, I thought you just sent me a picture.
But the Instagram is Picklebear Podcast.
I never would have guessed that one.
Oh
Yes,
my god!
you can look it up there. We don't have any posts right now, but we will be soon. We'll be
Yeah, how do I
posting
follow it? What
actively
is
here.
I
this?
think you may have just posted the profile picture.
I posted the profile photo. Yes.
Was that
How
by
do I
accident?
get to it though?
What?
Was that by accident?
No,
Oh,
it was
here,
like an
I found it.
option. I'm like, you know what? Might as well. Then I can
It's
like
just the
send
profile picture.
Hey, look
Yeah.
at that.
No
Nick,
caption.
it. No cap. What am I gonna caption? It's like, this is a profile for a new podcast
Guys,
coming to you soon.
Shout out to
Notice
Nicky.
the
He followed
pickles
us.
around the bear. Hence the name Picklebear.
You can't tell what the green things are on this
Those are pickles.
unidentified brown creature. Those are pickles.
And the creature is colloquially known as the bear.
Yeah.
Okay. So like you got a trash panda, and then you got the pickle bear. It's
Yeah, the
it's just the
pickle bear.
opposite of whatever they're called.
Porky
Porcupine. What's the opposite of porcupine? The opposite of pork is pickle, because it's a vegetable, and then the opposite of a pine is a.
River, you're putting too much thought into this. I just
don't
thought I looked
Just
at it.
look
I'm
what
like
the
pickle bear.
is. The
I'm like-
pickle bear is a porcupine. I don't think we explained that before.
It's like, okay, a whistle pig is actually a groundhog. A lot of people don't know that.
Why does it whistle though?
I don't know.
Never.
I've
heard
never
the
heard
term
a groundhog
pig
whistle.
Because whenever it sees its shadow, it goes, dang,
Whenever it
that's a
sees a
good looking
fat ass,
shadow.
it's
I
like,
can't
woo.
whistle.
Okay, did you see? Did you just swear on my podcast?
No, I
My
said
Christian
phrase.
podcast.
Okay, it was in a phrase. You're.
Ah! Oh, it's empty. I thought the cup was full of root beer and it was pouring on the couch. Okay, sorry. Again in 3, 2.
We're already going, Brooke.
Leave this whole. Oh, we're gonna edit this out. Leave
Just
that in.
bleep him out, okay?
Okay. What were we discussing?
Picklebears.
Oh, God. Oh yeah, the Picklebear. So, I was going up to check my tree stand out, and we found this dead porcupine, and the thing was huge.
Oh yeah, it was massive.
massive.
And he was sitting on his back,
He was laying on his back.
and with his crotch just sticking straight up in the air. That's how I would have wanted to die.
It's
so
hilarious.
I give it to him.
I might post that on the.
Yeah, post that on the Instagram.
I'll post
This
it
was
on
the
the Instagram
inspiration
because
for
it's
the
such a
name.
funny,
I got a
funny
selfie
picture.
with him.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever heard this story.
Oh no.
No.
We
You
were.
see that picture? It was
No,
a big
I
ass
never saw
porcupine.
this.
Yeah. So like we were walking
I
up.
made a meme out of it.
Yeah. Do you still have the photo, River? Show Koner.
I mean, I got a lot of photos.
So like
way
we
back
were.
in there.
Yeah, but we were walking up there, and like I just looked over, and I'm like, holy crap, because it was just laying there like belly up, and it was like extended, like its paws were straight up in the air, and then its mouth was like that with its teeth out, and I was like, dang, but like I went up there for like a month later, and it never really decomposed. It might still be over there, like the remains. I never really saw it like not be there.
It's magic. It doesn't decompose.
It didn't decompose. I think it was because it was cold out, but
Yeah.
I was surprised nothing ate it. Like I didn't think their stomachs had quills on it too, do they? Like, just wee little
I mean,
ones.
I don't think so.
Do you wanna
'Cause
eat,
that's
like,
how fishers kill their
frozen-
prey. They flip it over and then go onto the.
I can't
Will,
yeah.
find
will
it,
animals
bro.
eat like frozen corpses?
My
Uh,
dog
will they
was
be,
eating
like-
a dead deer. I walked outside and started eating a dead deer.
I
one
lot
time.
of
wasn't
stuff.
sure if like they would be so like frozen solid they wouldn't even be able to like. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Like I like imagine if like a pack of coyotes could like lay beside it to warm it up, and then they could start eating it.
That's why penguins do that in their groups.
Wait,
They're preparing to eat the one in the center.
everybody huddle.
Sacrifice.
It's like,
Sacrifice.
guys, so you know, the best position to be in a huddle if you're
Oh, I
in
hear
a
that.
survival situation trying to stay warm. If everybody huddles around you, run. You're going to be killed and
Yeah.
eaten.
That poor guy. He's just sitting there.
Laying
He has
there,
his
belly
arms
up.
like his arms are kind of just like default position, kind of pointed inward, and then he's just sitting there, his mouth open and his crotch hanging out. That's how I want to go. Remember that. I want to lay like that in a casket. Remember that, Ethan.
Aye.
Naked too.
Yeah.
It's a very open
18 and up
casket
funeral. And then you can have one later for non-18 and up, where you put like a
Yeah.
rag over me.
A loincloth.
Really puts a whole new meaning to closed casket funerals.
Okay. What's the first on our topic list?
I don't know, River. Want to go off your list? River prepared a list.
Oh, yes. Let me open the list. So I have. We can either do Russia and Ukraine or a Phantom Fortress.
Is that all we have?
There's more.
Oh,
I have a lot
Bugles,
more over here.
trannies.
we already talked about
GDP.
bugles.
That's
Wait,
all I
GDP?
have. Girls in Panzer.
Oh,
and then I have
oh,
music.
Yeah,
I thought you meant like the value of a
yeah.
dollar.
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, what?
We can go over that too. It's because
Go
it's,
right
it's
from
going
it.
down.
We go right from transgenders to economics.
Like you're gonna okay.
And the link between the two.
So like the value of the dollar is plummeting, which is why I choose to invest in vintage 1980s muscle cars because they will maintain their value.
You say that, but your whole point is that their value just went down enough to where you could buy one.
No, they've
cheaper.
always been down.
You said
These are really poor like measures of like scoring value.
So the thing is, they're really common cars, but the problem is everybody that has them like uses them as like drug mobiles or something, or like they modded them like just to like rip on. So like you can't find them all original, but if you can get an original one, it's like the value's really good on them. Like you can, if you go to like an auction and sold like a mint condition one that's original with like say 50,000 miles on it, you could probably get like I've seen them go for like $40,000, but like
Yep.
yeah, like
Yep.
they're good.
the only shut up, River. The only like feasible store of value for if the dollar would collapse, guns and ammunition.
Yes,
That is the only way that you're going to be like keeping a stable.
I said that at a
measure
family
of
gathering. People
value.
thought I was crazy.
I'm gonna add one to that. Alcohol.
Alcohol, medicine.
Alcohol doesn't last.
Yes, alcohol and medicine. Yes, that too.
Well, alcohol does last. Like
It'll be like welcome to Barter Town.
whiskey.
Well, yeah. If
Yeah,
the US,
whiskey does.
if the dollar
Yeah.
collapses, we will be bartering.
Yeah.
Like beer and stuff wouldn't be good, but like hard liquors would.
I don't know about
last
that,
very
bro.
long.
I think popcorn would be up there too. Anything classic that tastes good.
It's like pop.
No, but what I don't understand is why people say gold and silver are like good measures of storing value.
The idea behind the gold is how you need gold for electronics nowadays, and that's only going to grow.
Yeah,
Right.
very
Right, but
conductive.
If we're in an entire economic collapse, like we're not
Yeah.
talking a recession or a depression, we're talking straight up economic collapse.
I
where
like
the
to-
U.S. dollar has no value.
I like to think like how in Mad Max, how you have different tribes popping up. Like you have Bullet Farm, you have Gastown. You're going to have some sort of cyberpunk city where they hoarded all of the technology. And they have flying cars and laser
They're like
So it's like the
Bond.
Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Brotherhood of Steel. That's right.
It's like they're like, we must make sure that technology is protected by killing everybody that has it and then accumulating it all for ourselves. Fallout's a really good game. I love Fallout.
That's good. The only one I've really played is New Vegas.
Did you ever do 3?
No.
I'd recommend 3. People say they
I
don't
like-
like it, but it's pretty good.
I like 3, but that might be just because we're from that whole area, the
Yeah,
whole
that's-
capital region.
See, I like 76 a lot because it was like Appalachia. And
If they made a single-player version of it, I would play
it would have been a lot better,
Yeah.
yeah.
because it's just not what Fallout is.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff was like they were trying to jump on like the cryptid bandwagon.
Yeah.
It's like they had like the Grafton Monster and like Mothman and all this stuff, and it's like, it was like it wasn't done as well as it could have been, nearly.
If they would have made it more like Elder Scrolls Online, because like Elder Scrolls Online, it wasn't necessarily bad, but it wasn't
I
good.
disagree.
It wasn't good as an entry to the Elder Scrolls series, and they effectively differentiated it from the rest of the series. So it's good on its own, which they could have done with Fallout 76, but they did not successfully do that.
Yeah, it like when it comes to atmosphere though, Fallout 3 is the best. If it had more like settlements,
All right, hold up. You cannot tell me. I
Yeah.
haven't played Fallout 3, but you cannot tell me that Fallout 3 is better than New Vegas. The soundtrack for New Vegas and just the whole Mojave was incredible.
yeah, I'll say that. But the problem is with New Vegas, it's like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like there's a lot more of the map that's opened up, and it's just like nothing. But like with 3,
Fallout
it's like
3 is broken down into those sections of the city
yeah,
that you can't get to.
yeah. But there's like stuff everywhere. Like in the city, it's like every building you can almost get in. I remember like getting the traveler perk or whatever, where you can see all the locations, and I was like, oh my god, because like you can't even see the individual locations because they're like on top of each other because there's so many of them. And like the quests are just more memorable to me too. Like New Vegas, yeah, some of them were, but like
Some of the quests in New Vegas
yeah,
were
like
memorable.
okay, let me think. Like side quest wise, I remember the one where you had to like fly the rocket, or you didn't fly the rocket. You helped the ghouls fly the rocket to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
space.
That one was
Um,
fine. I liked the one at Jacobstown with the super mutants.
The one up in
Oh,
the mountains?
yeah, that one.
Is it Raul?
I don't even remember his name.
That's what comes down to me liking a video game a lot, is just like the setting. And New Vegas had more of a setting I could relate to, as in like rural. But 3 was more regionally applicable to my experiences.
See, like, in Fallout 76, like, it was like they didn't have people at first, but then they added them after a bit because it wasn't doing well. But like they added like it's just like it was like good versus evil. It was like raiders versus settlers. See, I joined the raiders, and normally I wouldn't, but like I did it because the settlers were just complete jerks. Like they just moved in and they're like, "Get away! We don't want you close." And it's like, okay, you're jerk. Like it was a really conflicted thing for me. But
So
like,
the settlers were like trying to take the land as theirs.
well, yeah, and actually the raiders were from Pennsylvania. In the
Where
game.
were the settlers from? Did it say?
They weren't from Pennsylvania. I think they were from further south or like east. but it was interesting. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was an alright game. It could have been a lot better, really. Like even the quests weren't very good. They all seemed the same after a bit.
A lot of online games end up like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it other than the only thing I know about it is that I saw one YouTube comment under "Praise the Lord and Pass the Ammunition" that the song was in the game, and that is all I know about it.
They had a bunch of Tennessee Ernie Ford songs too, like 16
right,
Tons.
Yep, that's a good song.
I like them. Yeah, good. Honestly, I think 76 has the best soundtrack to me. Like I think it has some of the New Vegas songs too.
Oh, excellent.
It was like it's fun to play. And then the best mission for like 76 in my opinion was like there was like this Raider robot, and it was like it was a Miss Nanny model of like like Codsworth was, and it was like it ended up that she was actually like a person that like spoiler, but she was a person that uploaded her consciousness. Like it was a Raider from like pre-war. She was a criminal, but then she became a Raider. But she uploaded her consciousness into the robot, I guess, to survive the war. But it's interesting.
Curious.
Yes?
No, I was just commenting on it.
Oh,
Saying
okay.
it's an interesting plot.
Just saying it was,
I think we've milked this enough, though.
I think we've milked the Fallout topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about Stalker, guys? You like
Stalker?
Stalker?
I haven't looked into that much.
Who do you think is going to be the American equivalent of Monolith once we get nuked?
Of what?
Monolith. So they like worship the center of the
great
zone.
monolith.
Oh, great monolith. They worship the wish granter.
The what?
Okay,
he
so-
isn't even well versed in Stalker.
Okay, so
lore.
in Stalker, after the whole Chernobyl thing happened, there was this thing called the Wish Granter, which grants wishes. As you
No.
Who would have guessed?
Like the whole point of the series is that they don't know exactly what's going on, and that's why there's the whole science faction that's like researching it. Because like one of the theories is that they're aliens that got teleported
Which
from another
was
planet.
the reference to Roadside Picnic, because that was the book that inspired it, and that book is really good and is highly recommended if you like obscure Russian literature.
The translation seems off. It's weird to read in English.
It is a little strange, especially whenever they start using words like bloodsucker as an insult, which eventually turned into it's a little odd.
Did you guys ever listen to the Russian sleeper experiment?
Isn't
Yeah.
this that creepypasta where like they just
Yeah,
It was
stops
one of
them
the
from
better
sleeping?
creepypastas, I'll say.
I liked it. It was interesting. But like yeah, I mean that partly is like the mental your mental health will decompose without sleep.
I feel like
You don't
if you like
That's what
take
the government
yourself-
wants you to think.
I feel like if you take yourself outside of like your comfort zone far enough, your mental health will just decompose like
It's like I haven't
anyways.
eaten in like 5 days. Yeah. Like honestly, the smallest things can like cause people to become like violent. Like people that are hungry will become very violent.
People have to pay $7 a gallon for gas.
Yeah, like what Tim always says. He's like, people are fat and happy. They're gonna there won't be anything.
Yeah.
But like the problem is,
which probably okay.
sorry, go ahead.
No.
No.
I'm just gonna muse a little bit on this. When people are fat and happy, they don't care. They're just kind of like, it's good enough for me. And I think that's part of the reason why you see such a low voter turnout, like now, because people are mostly content with a lot of things, and we've started to see this voter turnout uptick, and I think that might be in turn due to people being, disenfranchised with, what's going on in America.
The lack of people voting is on both sides of that. It's you have the people that are just content with what they have, and then you have the people that are so discontent that they don't think their vote matters at all.
Right. But the people, and that's part of the reason because of what's it called? There's a specific system of voting. Plurality plurality
You
vote.
rank your choices.
Oh, the tiered
No,
tiered
plurality
voting.
vote
Is that what it is?
is just the one where whoever takes the biggest share of voters is the one who's elected. So, and nobody else gets anything for voting, and that's why a lot of people have this idea that their vote doesn't matter at all.
That's how in like Europe they have people winning with like 40% of the vote.
See, I
Something
like
that. Yeah.
I like tiered voting, or not tiered voting. Yeah. What you just said, like the
You rank your choices.
rank your choices,
That's
yeah.
tiered voting.
Yeah.
like people said about like
tiered voting has problems though.
yeah.
Tiered voting opens up to like strategic or tactical voting, whatever you want to call it, where basically, if you say I want this party to win, you will vote for that party, and then you say, but I don't want this party to win, even though this party is better than. I want party. Okay, I'm gonna try and restate this. I want party A to win. I definitely do not want party B to win, but I don't want party C to win, even though party C is better than party B. And you say, okay, I'm not going to vote for party C. I'm going to vote for party A. I'm just not going to have the rank of C anywhere in my rankings, and I'm only going to vote for party A. And what that is, that I'm doing a horrible way of explaining this. That tactical voting basically means that you're not actually getting a accurate representation of what people's rankings on their ideologies are. So there's problems with that. Yeah, that was a bad way of explaining that.
I get what you mean, but like I was, I had another thing I was in favor of was like having more requirements to vote, because like the idea of like everybody gets to vote no matter what is kind of ridiculous to me. It's like, and like people will immediately start saying, well, you're trying to restrict certain people from voting, and I'm like, no, it's just that like
Yes, that is
it's like
correct.
you get to the point where it's like, okay, well, if the person has absolutely no idea, like, what any candidate supports, like, genre-wise or anything, or they have no idea what this candidate supports, and they're going to vote for him because this anchor on this news station said, vote this guy if you want change. It's like, that's how terrible people get elected in, and we get into the same endless cycle that we're in right now, Because
That goes beyond just the government itself.
I think that's something that's unfortunate, but I don't think we should really start restricting like how people can vote. I think everybody should be able to vote, but
It's also a double-edged sword, because that inherently the government has to be able to track you.
yes,
To be able to keep track of who's voting. This is the same reason I'm against driver's licenses, because I don't like all of this tracking that's going on.
yeah.
Just like I said, I'm against public schools.
But my solution wouldn't be to like, well, part of it is I feel like everybody that wants to vote should have to take a U.S. citizen test in high school and just add it onto that to the curriculum. And if you want to do that, you have to do that, or make it so you have to sign up for the draft in order to vote,
don't you already have
So
to
then
do
women
that?
can't
No,
vote?
women don't have to
Excellent.
do that.
Oh, you're right. That's
Yeah.
right. Sorry, I was looking.
And
Did you? This is a bit off topic, but in Ukraine, how they're banning all men from leaving the country and saying they have to fight,
yes,
and how that's causing upset in the transgender community.
yes, because they
There was a story
identify
about
as
this-
men.
There's this transgender who said he or she was a man, and then she left the country, and everyone was like, "No, you can't. No, that's a false equivalency. He wanted to leave the country to keep his mother safe." Like, they only want the advantages whenever it helps them.
Wayne,
Wait,
you
you're
could
telling
die.
me people will be dishonest to gain unfair advantages over people?
You're telling me mentally ill people are going to game systems
Okay.
for their own benefit?
Did you guys watch the it was those people, or it's a YouTube channel, but they like take like 5 members of this community and then they debate. It's like feminists versus men's rights activists. You didn't
I
see
have
those?
no idea what you're talking about. No.
I
can't
watched the
remember what
one
they're
where
called.
it was like black conservatives versus black liberals, and the black liberals had absolutely no
Oh my
points
god,
to
dude,
make.
they hated the black conservative people. They were like the
Their
one guy
points
was like,
always came back to "you're racist."
yeah. It's like, okay, they're like, people of this race cannot be racist, but then like they attack Candace Owens constantly for and call her like a white supremacist and stuff. But it's like where I was going with it. Well, they had this conversation. It was trans men versus conservative men, and they had a conversation. And the entire thing was the trans men were saying, and what they were women who transitioned to being a man. They were saying, you will never understand what it was like to be a trans man. You'll never understand what it was like to be a woman. But we understand what it's like to be a woman, a trans man, and a regular man. And it's like, you don't, because you didn't grow up as a man.
You've only like reached adulthood once.
Well, yeah, and the one, and a couple of them were very nice people. Like there was one, and honestly, you wouldn't if you saw them in public, you wouldn't be able to tell if that was a man or a woman. But like, he had a big white beard, and
Santa Claus.
like
You're saying Santa Claus is trans?
well, no, they were pretty skinny and stuff, and they had big glasses. But when they talked, they were like, "Yeah, we understand. I know that men have issues, and I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. I'm just saying that, like, I understand now, and it's like I had some hardships when I was a woman, I had some hardships when I was a man, and like that, they were very what's the word I'm looking for? They were very reasonable with everything.
Yeah, understanding.
Yeah, they were understanding. But like some of the other people were like, no, like women have it way harder, and it's like, well, have you ever grown up as being a man? You know, interacted in school or anything? They didn't. But
while we're here, we'd like to point out that we we obviously still respect transgenders as people, but we do not respect.
That was our guess. That was our guess.
That was the guess.
That was a joke.
We don't respect their choice because it is a choice to go through with the transitioning. Having that mental illness, the dysphoria that leads to that, that's not a choice. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
And we believe that you should find help for that, but transitioning is not the answer because all you're doing is forcing society to conform to your delusions.
See,
that doesn't help anyone.
I'm like to the point now where it's like, okay, if you want to do that, go ahead.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it in the comfort of your own home,
children should not be subjected to that. It was like, that was one of the questions.
Yeah.
The two younger people were like, yeah, they should be able to,
Yeah.
but like all the older ones, they were like, no, definitely not.
And this brings me back to that, the supposed "don't say gay" bill.
Yes.
I described it poorly, so I had some things right, but other things were like completely switched.
Yes.
In my explanation, so the way I described it, the bill would be that's how things are, and the bill is to prevent that. So it's actually the bill. "Don't say gay" is a title that the left made in order to say that this bill is just segregating people. I don't know what word
you can say gay.
You can say gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this bill. Can you?
So the bill is basically as it was, schools could groom children into transitioning as children without the parents knowing.
What it is it's an anti-grooming bill.
Yeah, it's an anti-grooming bill.
Okay.
And it did get through, right? I believe it did.
I'm mostly positive.
Yeah.
But
And it was in Florida. I was surprised that Florida was like this before.
now when DeSantis got in, he really... Well, you got to think, a lot of the people that go to Florida and live there, they're retired people. You know, they're older adults.
They're the retired elderly who went and said, "I screw this. I'm going to live in a place that's warm all year round."
Yeah, and even then, there's rural swamplands in Florida. I mean, you don't think about it. Like, Swamp People was in Louisiana. I think they had some people in Florida.
Basing your information off of a
Swamp
history
People.
TV show.
Yes, Swamp People was
History
very
Channel.
realistic. You guys don't listen?
I mean, that whole region, you're going to have some overlap between states. Just like us here in our area of Pennsylvania, we would relate more to people in like Kentucky than we would in Philly or Pittsburgh.
Well, actually, my family is from Kentucky.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We're more of the Appalachian
Appalachia.
rural style.
Except for Koner. He drives a hybrid.
He drives a
I
hybrid.
literally don't drive a hybrid.
What is it? What is it, Koner? It's shaped like a hybrid. It looks like a hybrid, and it sounds like a
It's
hybrid.
a Hyundai Accent.
It is a hybrid.
It's literally not a hybrid.
You know what? Look it up. We're going to look at what kind of car it is. I bet it either comes up as like a sports coupe hatchback or a
A hybrid.
hybrid.
It's a
Not a
hybrid.
hybrid.
It's totally hybrid. What's your gas mileage?
Enough.
My Wi-Fi isn't working right now.
Okay. Well, we'll do a follow up.
Follow up on the hybrid.
Comment if you guys think that his car is a
Comment
hybrid.
if you know what a Hyundai Accent is.
Yeah.
It's not a hybrid.
Where are we at in this conversation?
I don't know. We,
let's
we
go
kind
to
of
the
got
next
off
topic.
topic.
Okay.
We got sidetracked by the Hyundai.
That's enough.
So what is the
politics.
Phantom Fortress?
Yeah.
Let me
Phantom
put it down.
Fortress. Okay, so back
Oh no, not this story.
so back in World War II, apparently there is this military base that picked up this aircraft on its radar, and it was coming in. They're like, huh. Like there was no radio warning or anything, and I looked, and they're like, oh, it's a B-17. Okay, well let's let it land. So like the thing is going in a straight line. It like lands in this field perfectly, and like the base commander's like, okay. I think there was smoke or something coming from it, so they didn't want to approach it immediately. But like on landing it, I think it might have gotten damaged too, or something. But like when it was there, it just sat there, and the engines ran, and like he was like, okay, they'll get out eventually. So like a half hour goes by, and they just watch this thing, and it just still sits there. So finally, he's like, okay, enough. So he goes up and like opens the door, and like they climb in, and there's nobody in the plane. Like he goes around, looks, like everything's in neat order. The log book is in there, and the last thing it says is taking flak, and like the all the parachutes are neatly like put on the side. So like he's like, what happened?
Wait, so what was it? A plane or
It
what?
was a B-17 Flying Fortress.
Okay.
Yeah. So like he's like, how'd this plane land itself? First of all, where's the crew? Second of all, and if they left the plane, why are the parachutes sitting? You know, no parachutes are taken. So they had no idea what happened. Well, after investigating it, they ended up finding out that the crew they managed to get out, and apparently they.
Watch that cable. You're squeezing it. You can hear.
Sorry, can you tell the difference when I
You
squeeze?
can hear it.
Really? Well, that's crazy.
The kinks in the cable are stopping the flow of your voice
Just
from
like,
reaching the sound.
What?
bars.
I didn't know that.
No, you can hear it crackling when you do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Like right now, you can hear it.
Not right now.
Okay, I won't do
You
it.
had
then.
it fully twisted around in your.
Okay, I'm sorry. I play with things when I'm bored. Well, I'm not bored. It's just I'm like thinking. But I still smell that damn hydraulic fluid on my hands. Anyways, they found out that the crew was like, they thought the plane was going down, and they knew they wouldn't be able to fly back to base. So they were going to try landing it. They couldn't make it back to UK, so they decided we're going to fly this thing to Belgium instead. Well, while they were flying it, I guess they found out that like they're like, we don't have enough oomph to get to Belgium, so they just abandoned the aircraft. Well, apparently, I don't know how they explained that they got out without parachutes or anything, but because they just
Seems
accepted
like a minor
it.
problem.
Yeah, but like the story doesn't make sense even. It's like, okay, how'd you bail from the aircraft without parachutes? They don't know. And it's like, okay, well, how did the aircraft get back up in the air and then perfectly land at a military base? And they're like, I don't know.
I feel like you're taking two different stories and then you're like stitching them together.
No, this is the same story. Like the crew's fine, and their explanation was they bailed out, but the parachutes were still in it, and they didn't really have an explanation on why there was, there had to have been extra parachutes then.
So what do you think it was? Do you think it was aliens?
Honestly,
probably
I think what
aliens.
happened was they abandoned the aircraft. Then they like turned on. They put the flaps a certain way, put the throttle back on. So they were.
why would
After
you put
abandoning the
yeah.
aircraft?
I think what they were
They
trying to
jumped
do.
out of the aircraft and used like the force to move where the throttle was. How?
I think their
They
plan
had
was.
rubber bands put on the throttle.
Honestly, I feel like it was to what's the word I'm looking for?
To
Desert.
divert.
To desert
Oh.
from the plane. That way they wouldn't have to go back. They crashed their plane. And
So you're saying like it
they
was all
faked
a
it.
ploy to say, they were trying to fake their deaths, go MIA or something.
yeah, or like they were
Or
trying
like
to
how
destroy
the-
their plane. And
How the
then,
Russians in Ukraine are like putting holes in their gas tanks so that they can't advance, and they're like, "Oh no, looks like we have to stop here."
yeah,
Has that been confirmed? I
I don't
haven't seen
know.
that.
That's a lot of propaganda.
I feel that there's so much propaganda in this war.
a lot of it is like when you look at it.
Like, Russia cannot be this dumb. Or if they are, Or they're not
I
even
don't
this.
know, man.
They have some other plan. I refuse to accept that Russia is this incompetent.
I think on it they say that like Putin's dying, and like he's just like, might as well.
Well, they went into this invasion without having like proper comms or precision guided weapons, stuff like that. I talked about this briefly on like Discord, but so basically the Russians, the Russian network for guiding their cruise missiles and things is consistent. It's made up of like United States and French GPS satellites or something. So whenever this invasion,
Wait, they use their satellites?
yeah, straight up, man.
Dumbass.
So whenever this invasion started, they basically just like changed the passwords on the GPS system. They obviously didn't change the passwords, but they locked the Russians out of this system.
We added the password.
So basically, the Russians, their cruise missiles and stuff, they can't locate their targets properly. Their fighter jets and stuff aren't hooked up to the GPS systems anymore. Stuff like that it's gone. I've seen pictures of like MiG-29s with like the car GPS stuff. Like the things you stick to your
Are
windshield.
you shitting me?
On jaw. I have the.
Wait, like they
Hold on, give me a second.
yeah, but like plugs into the 12-volt receptacle in the car.
Sort of. I'll show. Hold on. Let me get the picture.
So they actually were using freaking car GPSs because they didn't have on their aircraft.
Yeah, I'm looking for the picture right now, but I don't.
Would that
remember
even
where
be
it
able
is.
to register though that you're flying at that speed, like the GPS?
I don't
doubt it
know if
works
it was
correctly.
exactly like a car GPS, but it's like a handheld GPS thing.
Did you hear about that like aircraft that like they almost went into Poland, but they turned at the last
Oh
second,
Jesus Christ!
and like it almost started World War III?
yeah, no.
Yeah, what if
would
that was
be-
because the GPS was like,
Wait, a Russian plane?
yeah, it was a Russian jet almost flew into Poland. What if it was because they were using that GPS and like it wasn't registering that it was flying at the speed he was? And he's like, okay, should be entering Ukraine any second now. And he noticed like the Polish flags below him, and he's like, oh wait.
I feel like they'd be flying at too high an altitude to see flags.
Yeah, but like modern jets have to fly low.
What?
Yeah, like the A-10 Warthog aircraft like that.
The A-10 Warthog is a completely different jet than a MiG-29.
Yeah, but I never said it was a MiG-29.
You think these Russians are flying A-10 Warthogs for?
Well,
for-
no, they have
for-
like their own
for-
variant of it, but like the A-10 is
No, the A-10's garbage.
what?
Yeah, dude.
No, you can't say
No,
that.
it is.
Get off my podcast.
No,
We don't diss on the A-10 on this
dude.
podcast.
The A-10 has one of the highest like blue-on-blue incidence ratings of any aircraft.
So it's basically the Mustang of
What are you?
the
trying to
Mustang of
make
the
it?
air. You know,
What?
because didn't you ever watch videos of like the car meets? What happens with like Mustang users?
No.
They always try doing a burnout and then they run into the crowd. It's like, yeah, but it's like it's a meme, but like there's so many different clips. It's like true.
I see. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the A-10 because I'm
Because
gonna.
the A-10 just like sprays into friendly lines.
No. So basically,
How's
I
it
don't
happen?
remember what the system's called, but on a lot of U.S. military vehicles, there's like this blue-on-blue system that allows you to identify what forces are friendly and what forces are not friendly.
Is it like the cat eyes in Vietnam, kinda?
Yes, but think of it as a digitalized version that like a map or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm only speaking of this in passing. I'm obviously not qualified to talk about this. But the A-10 does not have that. So you have to visually confirm whether or not a person or vehicle or column is friendly or enemy. And I have a video on my phone. I have no idea where it is right now, but I have a video of an A-10 basically flying a mission, and he radios into command, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got a column of hostiles right here." And command is like, "Yep, you're clear to engage. Though we have no friendlies in the area." And the A-10 the A-10 strafes this place. The A-10 strafes this place, and then you hear command go, those were friendlies, and you hear the A-10 pilot throw up in his cockpit because of that, and like, yeah, and there's a lot of other stuff like there's harmonics of the gun, as you're flying. The
But,
gun
like-
has like a 12-degree wiggle where it.
No joke.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that's good though, because it
No,
spreads
it's
enough
not
that
good.
like you can.
It's
hit.
not
12
good.
degrees is a lot.
Wait, 12.
There's
That's
more
like
to it.
that.
But at that distance,
I guess
at
that
that
would turn
speed,
into
And
like.
there's more to it about there's harmonics of like the as you're starting your like attack run your dive, depending upon your speed and stuff like that. Think of barrel harmonics with like match grade ammunition with precision rifles and stuff like that. But instead you're flying at hundreds of miles an hour.
Yeah, but the A10's pretty slow. That's the problem.
Okay, yes, it is slow.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the fact that whenever you fire the Burt gun on
Yeah.
the ground, you get a big cloud of dust kicked up, but you don't get a lot of rounds on target.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
But like the
So it
thing
looks
is,
cool.
well, that's the thing. Like all the issues you've described so far, they all sound like issues that like their Air Force is just not taking.
Well, they
Because like I
made-
feel like if they fixed like those sound like easy solutions, like update the systems.
yes, changing the entire airframe to fix the harmonics of the gun is an easy solution.
Oh wait, airframe.
yeah,
I thought it was the gun. My bad.
it is the gun, but there's something about the vibration as it flies that causes the gun to shift.
I was thinking like the way the gun was like when like it was driving, like when it was like flying through the air, like the wind was causing it to like go like that.
That's pretty much what I'm saying, except it's on the entire frame.
So like the entire frame of the plane is shaking.
I don't want to say like yes or no. I'm basically just parroting information I've heard.
Gun
I don't know
stabilizers.
anything about this, but
he's not an expert. He just reads a lot of
Yeah.
I get what
media
you mean.
articles.
But like, still, the A10 is and forever will hold a place in my
it's
heart.
cool.
Like,
I like the bird.
Have you ever
sounds.
seen one fly by?
No.
I was driving in a local town area. Should we disclose that?
No.
Okay. So I was driving in the local like town area, and like there's like this bridge with this river, and it's a pretty big bridge. But like as I was driving up to the bridge, like all at once 2 A10s flew overhead, and they were maybe 100 yards above the bridge. It was like really low, but that's what they do because they're slow. Like like you can hit one out of the air with whatever you have, but if you can't like see it for like 5 seconds, you're not gonna be able to shoot it. You know.
Right.
So the day after, or I guess sort of the day after, because from where we are, the invasion happened about 11 p.m. It started. So the next morning, I heard so much air traffic overhead, like a lot more than usual.
Did I tell you guys about the column of strikers I saw on my way back to college?
No joke.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, it was a column of like 3 strikers just moving up north on the road that has
Oh.
the 2 numbers.
Well, see, when you say a
After-
column, it sounds like it would be a lot more than
Okay,
3.
well,
Yeah,
there were
I've
3
seen
strikers.
3 go through there before.
yeah.
But there's going to be more.
Yeah, there
Have
were
you ever
3
been in a
strikers,
striker?
But there were support vehicles
I've
around
been in
it.
one before.
Yeah, we both have.
The guy was like, "Well, this thing's really uncomfortable, and the air conditioning heating does not work." But next week we'll be back overseas, and I was like, "Jeez."
Like, I feel like they're National Guard
that would
strikers too. So it's like, why would you ship it overseas? Why not just have one overseas? You know, like,
Where do you think they come from?
You gotta be trained with your equipment.
well, what I'm meaning is that specific one we were looking at was meant for Pennsylvania. Okay, so why are we shipping it the whole way from Pennsylvania across the ocean?
Because the National Guard gets the leftovers. They don't
Yeah,
get the
but,
good
like,
stuff.
I feel like they're like, yeah, there's one over there ready for you. Like, I don't know. I feel like we should like ship.
That's just how our military handles logistics, Brooke.
I guess so. It's like,
Yeah, the National Guard and the reserves get the cast-offs, and
And the
I want
Marines,
you to-
apparently.
I want you to drive this
Dude,
3
the
mile
Marines
per
have
gallon.
Just discovered like magnified optics.
I want you to drive this 3 mile per gallon tank the whole way from the Appalachian Mountains down to the coast, and then we're gonna put it on a giant slow boat and sail it over to the Middle East,
Well,
where it'll
dude,
get hit by an
hold on.
RPG or an.
What are they gonna do? Manufacture them in the Middle East? How
Well, like,
do you think they get
okay, so
there?
you manufacture them, and instead of just having it over here and like giving it to the base, and they're like, okay, here you go, and then like, okay, now we're gonna ship it with you the whole way over there. Like, just have one ready to go, you know, like have set amount of vehicles over here.
What do you think
'cause
the
we're
reserves
fighting
are?
over there? Well, like I didn't think that we moved our equipment over with them. I figured we'd have the same equipment already staged up, ready for them over there. You know what
You
I
don't
mean?
need them then. Then you just have the equipment over there. And it's just gonna
Every
be another.
country in the world has like some U.S. military detachment just waiting in case there's a conflict there.
Well, no. What I'm meaning is
Not even personnel. There's just a depot full of
Piles of
equipment.
vehicles.
it's like there's a little, you know, like when we left Afghanistan, like we left everything
Yeah.
at the airbase. Yeah, there's like those everywhere, and like the only thing defending it is
That
like a
was the
little
only
barbed
one that got
wire on a
reported.
fence. What,
That was the only one that got reported.
dude?
There's a bunch of French kids on an M1 Abrams.
Oh, dude, the worst part was they left dogs over there in kennels.
No, the worst part is that they left like full auto M4A1s over there, and I didn't get one.
I would have, you know, there's probably honestly people over there selling them on Gunbroker. No,
The import laws would not allow that.
well, they sell them in
Yeah.
Canada. Well, yeah, you can buy a Norinco M14 in Canada, but you can't buy it in the U.S.
Norinco M14?
Yeah, no, they do make 'em.
Norinco China M14 as in...
Yeah, like an M1A.
Bruh.
You didn't know about that?
I didn't know Norinco made M14s.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, they sell them for like $400 to $500 in Canada, but apparently they're good rifles. But you'd charge like $1,000 to $1,200 down here.
Chinese rifles, good.
Yes. Yeah.
Imagine.
Now,
Have you seen their new rifle?
You mean the laser one?
No. They're
Did you see that one? It'll like
No.
melt your flesh off. It's terrifying.
that's Chinese propaganda, 100%.
I don't know, dude. The Chinese
The
are pretty
inverse
whack.
square law. No, inverse square law. There's no way you could have that much a
Have
source
you
of
played
power
Fallout?
bases his entire information off of Fallout.
It's like that one time in Fallout.
You know, aren't the weapons in Fallout powered like mini nuclear reactors?
Yeah, but
Yes.
not the laser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem with that?
No, that'd be kind of sick though.
They're fusion cells. What's plasma use?
Plasma.
Yeah, but like they had a specific. I think no, the gamma rounds were for radiation, and then I think it was plasma cartridges is what they were called. I couldn't remember the name for them.
What is plasma?
My wonder.
These plasma guns. What ammunition? Yes, the 7.62 AK. What round does it take?
Well, okay, it could be 7.62 by 51, eh?
Dude, if you had an AK,
Pepper.
like I'm talking the 30 round AK, and like I'm not talking like an upgraded like marksman rifle or anything. I'm talking a 7.62 by 54R AK battle rifle. Imagine that thing.
Yep, I'm imagining it.
I'm imagining it. Yeah.
That thing would kick the
Why
crap out
would
of
you
your
want
shoulder.
that though?
I'd want it just to have it. I love.
Do you think they could
54R.
use that in Ukraine?
Dude, that thing would be able to shoot through trees with full metal jackets.
It's literally just 7.62 by 54R.
Dude.
Like it's like the same round as a Mosin and
I know.
SVD. It would be all that good.
It would be
It would just
amazing.
it would just be an SVD, but
Dude, the PKM shoots 54R.
yeah,
AK.
But it does it real
Russians get
quick.
right. That round, I think 7.62 by 54R is the oldest military
oldest
round.
military cartridge still in service today.
Yeah, it's because we made so much of it. It's
I don't
not
think
actually
we've
good.
made any of it.
No. Well, yeah, there's a company over here, I'm sure, that makes it.
Okay, you know what?
What
I
is
was
it?
talking
There's
about like
more
military
domestic
service.
ammo manufacturers.
There's Tula, Wolf. Wolf is Russian, isn't it?
Wolf is
Tula
Russian.
and
Tola is
Wolf are
Russian.
Russian.
Yeah, what about Silver Bear?
Haven't heard of it, but if it's steel cased and has bear in its name, it's probably Russian.
Are there
or
still
red.
people shipping Tola over here? Because I just bought Tola 9mm not too
Yes.
long ago,
Because
but I can't find Tola 5.56.
well, Biden went and put the sanctions on that we couldn't buy Russian ammunition anymore. But what they are doing is they opened up a Chinese ammo factory under Tula Arms. So now Tula
There were-
is
there
it
were memes
Tulamo
about
or
this.
Tula Ammo?
I just say Tula ammo.
I
mean, I guess it's only one A, but
It's only one
it's
A.
a bad
yeah, but it's one word, isn't it? Tulamo.
Tula ammo.
something like that.
What
Yeah.
Tula Mo.
Tulamo. No, there's two M's. Tulamo.
I stretched
Mo.
the M.
Moo. But yeah, but like, wait, what were we talking about?
Tula.
Cheap steel case 9mm.
Oh yeah. But they're making it in China and shipping it over here. 'Cause
I saw memes about that before it happens, and they're like, "Oh, me opening my box of Belarusian Tuka ammo from it's something dumb like that."
well, legit, all they'd have to do is
Tulamo with two A's.
you could okay, so like a Russian company could like open up a factory in Ukraine, right?
No, probably not right now.
Well, after they take Ukraine over.
Take it.
Well, it depends upon what they do with Ukraine.
Okay.
If they annex it and it becomes part of Russia, then no, it's still
Okay,
affected
but
by
like-
input
Okay,
laws.
say not Ukraine. Say like a country along the border. If they opened
Belarus?
up like a,
Is Belarus just like a Russian puppet state?
I don't.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't know if it's a puppet.
is it?
I think that's. I don't
Well,
know.
It has its own
I know they're
dictator
allied
and
with
everything.
Russia. Yeah.
Well, Russia's convinced that Ukraine is our puppet state. We all have puppet states. It's just we.
it's
I mean,
all
US
just
is a
proxy
puppet
wars
state,
too.
again.
It depends on how we.
Who
I
are we?
can't say-
To Britain?
No.
It's like the king, the queen still has
Well,
control.
there's a small country in the Middle East.
Those freaking United Arab Emirates.
I wasn't referencing those guys. They're like they're to the west of the UAE.
Yeah, but why is the UAE so successful? Is a good question.
Oil.
Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, oil in the oil exporting countries.
Why isn't Saudi Arabia though?
Saudi Arabia is.
Yeah, but like UAE's top notch, and it's a pretty small country. Saudi Arabia, I know them for their oil.
I don't know a whole lot about like the whole oil politics of the Middle East, but I do know there's like a coalition of countries that sell their oil and they set the prices for oil, and I guess the UAE's part of them, and all those countries are just rich because they sold all their oil.
Russia's at $2 a gallon. Pretty sad for us. I mean, when you drive a vintage 1980s muscle car like me, it hurts.
We need to crank up our oil production.
We can't though.
Was it Sarah Palin that said "drill, baby, drill"?
That sounds like something Sarah
It
Palin would
does sound
say.
like something Sarah Palin would say.
Yeah, well, the problem with oh man, I'm gonna have to reference a DJ Peach Cobbler video.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. He did the video on
Oligarchy.
yeah, oligarchy. But what was the actual political term? that
Is he
was
Gen
called?
Z?
I don't even know, dude. Dude,
He's
he's
like
he's
early
insane. That's what I'll
20s.
say.
He's
Isn't
not
his
that much older than
profile
us.
like just a peach cobbler with eyes
Yes.
and like
Yes.
on a human body?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
wearing a pair of.
But if
head-
you
Yeah, he did a
actually seen
Fallout
what he
video.
looks
I
like?
saw.
Have you actually seen what he looks like?
No.
If you compare
he looks
videos from him
strange.
of like a year ago, he's like a skinny guy. But if you look at him now, he's jacked. And
He's
my
jacked.
the-
When
my
he's
theory-
muscular?
Yes,
I thought you were
my-
gonna say he became obese or something.
No, my theory is that he became jacked specifically for that femboy Vietnam video that he did.
I didn't see.
It was like
I
a
don't-
1-minute video of how in Vietnam they had this femboy corps, and there's this ripped guy wearing a little dress, and I'm convinced that he spent a whole year getting jacked just for that one video.
There's something
Nice.
wrong with that video that I pointed out, but I can't remember what it was.
That they were wearing M81.
No, you pointed that out. 'cause
Oh, they were
I
wearing
didn't catch the
M81 in
ammo.
Vietnam?
They probably had.
Well,
something to
we
do
were
with the
using
guns.
ERDL. It was
It's
a-
different than M81.
Yeah, it's
ERDL
different
is
than
smaller
M81.
pattern.
No, I thought M81 was a larger pattern.
I did.
Oh, you said
I just said
ERDL.
ERDL has a smaller.
I thought you said
pattern.
M81 was a smaller. My
Arguing
bad.
semantics here.
Yeah, but like it wasn't effective because it used such a small pattern. But M81 was effective because it
Well,
used
that's why
larger
multicam
patterns.
is supposedly effective, or OCP, whatever it's called.
UCP.
No, OCP, not
No,
UCP.
not UCP.
I love
We're not going to
UCP.
talk about UCP.
You
No,
UCP
I didn't-
is
I didn't finish my
amazing.
bit about oligarchy.
We should do a video comparing camouflage effectiveness and then look at UCP.
Your whole argument with
Camouflage
UCP.
effectiveness. Flectarn.
Well, your whole argument about UCP Delta is like, look, they made it better
They
by
put
making
brown.
it basically Marpat, which it was to begin with.
Yeah, but it's better than Marpat.
It has a bit more brown in its balance as
Yeah.
opposed to
Well, that's the
Green.
thing.
goodbye
It's
River.
like-
We lost River.
Yeah, goodbye, River. Have a good one.
You flip that mic off.
That's the thing about UCP Delta, though. They added the brown. It was coyote brown, and it really did help a lot. But the problem with it is they wanted a camo pattern to do everything. And that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah. It really has to be split
Yeah.
into summer and winter camo. But the best, hands down, the best summer like woodland camouflage.
Like around here.
Cadpat?
Flectarn.
No, Cadpat is too green.
Cadpat's okay.
Cadpat and is it DPM that the Russians use?
The Ratnik stuff, I don't know what
They
it's
have
called.
too much green in their
Yeah.
belts and
Honestly,
not
we
enough
should
brown.
we need to do a video like we each buy like a different like camouflage pattern, like
I got my camouflage pattern.
Koner
Like a
has a
full-
whole Flectarn kit.
dude. Okay, we'll compare
I have
Flectarn.
Marpat, M81, and UCP.
Which one do you want to do? You can do Marpat. I can use M81, or I'll get a CAD pad or UCP. I'd love to get UCP Delta, but it's like if I wanted a full set, it would be like
Everyone
$700.
Pretty much everyone that has UCP Delta, they got UCP and dyed it themselves.
Well, no, they you can buy the pattern. You have to sew your own uniform in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most of the people I've seen just dyed the UCP because that's what
That would
essentially
be
what
really
it
hard
is.
to do though, because it was like to make it authentic, you'd have to
Authentic, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but the one guy, he did airsoft, and he had a set of it, and he completely did it himself. But there's only 9,000 uniforms made, so they're pretty hard to find. But I
And
feel
now we're on to OCP.
OCP, yeah,
Is that the technical term for it?
yeah. I can't remember.
Or is it
there's
different from
advanced
Scorpion?
ACP or there's the ACU,
the-
which is the
the
advanced
ACU,
combat uniform.
That's
that
the
UCP.
cut of the uniform. That's not the
Yeah,
pattern.
it's not
Yeah.
the.
And then I think I keep wanting to say occupational, but it's not.
I would have to see a picture of the camouflage pattern you're referencing. It's not coming to mind right
Multicam.
now.
It's multicam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But there's so
Scorpion
many different names
Exo.
for it. I think
Yeah.
that's different versions. I think Scorpion is like an older
Well,
experimental version.
I'll tell you
Am I-
exactly what it was. The U.S. government's cheap. They don't
Would've
want to
guessed.
spend money. So
Well-
Scorpion was made by a company. Wait, you wanted to guess?
No, I was just making a wry comment.
Scorpion was made by a company. So the U.S. government's like, let's change like a color or two, and then make it our own. So they did. And I think
Wasn't
there
that
was a lawsuit.
Cry? Wasn't the whole thing is that like Cry's prices were too much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the government's ridiculous when it comes to cheapness. It's like, we want to be as effective as possible. Just not past this much money, though.
No, that's not even it. Like, the government isn't cheap. The government spends so much money, but
Well, they're
It's like
cheap
they
where it
spend-
doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, they spend so much money on things that are cheap to us.
The flying Humvee. Did you read?
That's not a Humvee. It's an M113.
No. They actually made there's like $1 billion project to make a flying
Show
Humvee.
me it. Show me it. I don't believe it.
I'm not making it up. It was in the it was this book, and it was called Attack of the Killer Facts. But like he had like a page dedicated to like the military's spending.
Oh, I'm talking about the Aerogavin, man. That thing would
Wasn't there a guy like obsessed with the Bradley, and he
No,
decided he
no,
wanted
okay.
to fly the Bradley?
No, let me try and remember what all happened here. It's basically what the movie The Pentagon Wars was about, which is a horrible source of information, and is like it's basically misinformation, pretty much. I think his name was Mike Sparks, who no, Mike Sparks is a different guy. I can't think.
Yeah, what are you eating?
River's back. He has food.
Oh my god.
We flipped your mic off.
Can I get a bite of your fried chicken?
It's flipped
River? I
off.
flicked it. It's off.
So I got some fried chicken. and
Okay, DARPA
vegetables.
was making it,
Oh, so nobody gives a shit about my food now. Come on.
but my Wi-Fi's not working. But the general idea was to make it like a helicopter. That's like concept art of it.
No, listen, I'm talking about the Aerogavin here.
Wasn't that like you fly it in?
What?
It was like two pieces, and like you'd fly it in.
Yeah, you fly it in, and there's a turboprop on top of it.
Yeah.
It's like a biplane design, which is absolutely ridiculous if you know anything about aviation.
Well, why did they make biplanes originally? I can't remember.
They thought that having two wings would increase your lift, but that's not true.
Do you
And
watch
if it-
Laser Pig?
I do.
Is that why I got recommended Laser Pig?
Yeah, I don't know.
That would make sense.
They are.
It's like-
I like Laser Pig stuff. He does a lot of good stuff.
He is
Yeah, so they thought that it would increase the lift, but essentially what ended up, and you can increase the lift in some very specific circumstances. There's like I've seen like six what's it called, 6-unit wings or something, and the geometry is really cool and stuff. And these things have like incredibly low takeoff.
Oh, like the
speeds.
German ones? Or it's not like
The
or
Fokker
wait.
D. No, I'm talking
No.
about modern stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. I've only seen like a prop model of it, like an RC plane, but it's cool. We were talking about biplanes. Right. So they thought that it would increase the lift.
Bisexual planes.
Bisexual planes.
You talking about bisexual planes?
Yeah, we're talking about bisexual planes.
Bye. Bye.
Hmm?
Like the commercial.
That's a song by BTS.
You know,
by
there was
way.
the dancing lizards. It was bye.
So you tell me
BAI.
You listen to BTS?
Did you not buy the BTS meal? Is that McDonald's?
I don't know.
There's the Travis
Isn't
Scott
BTS
burger.
the Korean
Yeah.
thing?
Korean boy
There's a
band.
BTS meal though.
The girls will score crazy about them.
Are you serious?
No,
I don't understand what the appeal is of a South Korean boy band.
I don't think it's meant for people like us.
Maybe not.
It is
I
meant
think
for
I burnt
people like
myself
us.
under my arm. You see anything right like in the middle of my bicep? Okay. Never mind.
His
It's just-
biceps are okay.
It hurts to touch my arm. What are we at time wise, Ethan? Or Goose?
1:11. Call me whatever you want. The last one was like an hour 20. We can keep going.
Yeah.
We still have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, we do have a
we've
lot to
been-
talk
well,
about. What are
we've
we going
been-
to talk
we've been
about?
going
I'm getting on the
off
floor
topic
because
Getting on the
I'm hitting the
floor.
floor. Connor, we invited you here as a guest for a very specific reason.
Oh God.
AK or AR?
AR.
Why?
It's better. It's more reliable. In America, we have parts for it literally everywhere.
More
The ammo is
ammunition around
readily
here.
available.
Okay, say we're in Russia. AK
That's
or
a
AR?
different situation.
Okay, what I'm saying is, how about the Middle East?
You could really go either way. If I have, it would really depend upon what my logistics situation looks like. If I can source replacement AR parts and replacement and ammo,
Did you see that?
Yeah, something just flew through our studio. It was big and black.
No, it was white.
oh
It was
no,
black.
No, I saw something white. What the hell was that?
Was it a skin?
Maybe it was a reflection.
It was this black orb that just came through here. It looked like a.
It was white to me. It might have been a reflection from the window, though.
No, this was black. It looked like a big ass
Maybe
horse
it's-
bladder, like 3 times the size.
Maybe it was like a ghost from that arrowhead I have upstairs.
Probably.
you have that you have that.
It's back
here?
in the house now, but it's in a case.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
so-
in a
Spirits
case.
inside.
I haven't had any
Keeps
sleep
the
paralysis.
spirits
So I brought this arrowhead in my room. I just started I keep freaking waking up. It was like right afterwards. I didn't notice it much. But I keep freaking waking up in the middle of the night and like seeing something across my room, like a person standing there. I look at it and then all of a sudden it freaking disappears. I'm like, well, damn, must be tired of shit or something. So I took the thing out of my room. It hadn't had it happen for a long time. I was like, huh, that was kind of weird that I was seeing that shit. I put it back in my room and I started seeing shit again. I don't know. It's creepy.
I also see. I never had sleep paralysis before, but I had it after River brought that stone into his room, and it really freaked me out. And then afterward, he explained to me, after I brought it up, that I had been seeing something.
He was like, "Oh yeah, that's normal."
So go, yeah. But like, imagine you're there in your bedroom. You wake up, you can't move out of your bed. The door to your closet swings open, and all at once, all your clothes start I have like my sweatshirts like folded up on this board, and like all my clothes were like getting thrown across the room, and I was like, I can't move. What's going on? And then you look down your steps, out the door, down your steps,
How'd
and
you
you
get to your
see.
steps if you can't move?
No, I can see my closet and the steps from my bedroom.
I don't think I've ever been inside your room.
Yeah, you haven't. You'd understand, but like, I saw like this. It was like this white humanoid, like walking up
the rake.
crawling up the steps. It looked like a rake.
There's a white guy walking up
This
the
dang
stairs,
thing
you said?
like crawled up to me and like it bit into my neck. And as soon as it bit into me, I woke up and I was like,
How do you know it wasn't Lake? He was just hungry. By
Like-
eating.
It's too thin to be like.
He's
That's
like,
why
oh,
he was hungry.
you got some Cheeto dust on your neck.
yeah, scared the crap out of you though. I mean, did you guys ever have sleep paralysis?
No.
When I was like 5, I had sleep paralysis where I woke up. I saw a like hat man thing, but it had a horse head. Okay, and this was before all the BoJack Horseman stuff. But looking back, it was exactly like BoJack Horseman.
That's
Not even kidding.
incredible.
I've had a lot of stuff like that. I also had dreams that was exactly like Five Nights at Freddy's, and this was like 5 years before Five Nights at Freddy's even came out. I've had so many dreams and stuff like this.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
You can see, so you can also see the
camera.
toilet from my bed. And I used to have a dream that was like, There's like a completely like imagine E.T.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine like his head and like neck and body, no limbs on him, but he has like octopus tentacles that are like 8 feet long. Okay, and imagine him like completely black. Imagine that thing climbing out of your toilet. That's what I used to have nightmares about.
Bye,
like
River.
this ET looking thing climbing out of my out of my toilet. It's always out of the toilet. I don't know why. Bye, River.
Sounds like you have some sort of subconscious fear of toilets.
I don't know. Well, like my toilet used to make noise, like it would gurgle all night, like it would be
Like the water coming.
yeah,
in
like
the
it would
tank.
bubble constantly. Like
That's just like a normal toilet thing.
yeah, but like my dad fixed it, and now it doesn't make me
You guys
feel
want fried chicken?
good. Yeah, you guys can have. Okay, Connor, I wanted to ask your opinion on how you listened to our previous podcasts.
I listened to parts of them. You're gonna have to refresh. You're gonna have to.
Okay, I just wanted to see what your opinion was on them, like how bad they were.
Oh, they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I liked them. There was some interesting conversation. Is this like a podcast question, or are you just asking me?
No, this is part of the podcast.
Okay,
I'm not. We're not editing this out. We want active
No.
criticism on the podcast.
Gotcha. No,
I was distracted by the dog. That's all.
What the dog doing?
What is the dog doing? I kind of there were parts that I thought were really interesting. There were parts that I was just kind of like meh.
Like the part where we interrogated Hunter about his.
I didn't see that part.
We interrogated him about his chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
I don't
good.
know.
We didn't have good audio. We don't have mic stands, so he couldn't eat and have a microphone on.
Speaking into his crotch.
Yeah, we gotta get mic stands because I keep on moving the microphone, and that's probably gonna mess with the audio.
We
I'd
have a few, but with this setup, it'd be weird
Yeah.
because of how we're in a.
Yeah,
We're on a couch and there's a table in front.
Well,
of
I
us.
was thinking about it. We might be able to have the show up at the cabin. We wouldn't have any Wi-Fi though. Is
Yeah.
the problem?
we'll be able to look.
I mean,
stuff
the
up.
Wi-Fi doesn't work here anyways.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is terrible. Like, if Biden, we're the most depressed community when it comes to internet. The Appalachian gamer.
I can't play War Thunder.
My
I keep
Wi-Fi.
lagging out.
Have you guys
World
ever
of Tanks.
lagged like in a plane on War Thunder?
Yes, it's
Like,
horrible.
dude. Like you're playing, like you'll be flying in a straight line, and then like the lag will set in, and then your plane goes straight into the ground.
Dude, the one time I was holding this point, and this guy comes running in. I shoot him. It says target eliminated or whatever it is,
Yeah.
but he keeps going. So I start rotating my turret, and then the lag like catches up, and I'm just shooting at nothing now. And there's another guy to my other side.
Did you ever have like the tanks like, they start floating into the air?
Yeah.
Like they'll be starting up a hill?
The physics are so wonky whenever it lags.
Dude, I've killed people by like shooting at them as they're floating through the air. Though that's the crazy part.
Is War Thunder client authoritative?
What?
Like,
It depends how it registers the hits. Is it client side or server side?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not going to go on a long spiel about this. Basically, for server side hit registration, it needs to get an okay from the client or from both clients saying, okay, yeah, I made the hit, and okay, yeah, I got hit, before the server's like, okay. For client authoritative, all it takes is the client to just be like, yeah, I hit it, and then the server's just like, okay, you're dead. And that's what Tarkov is, and that's why Tarkov has such a bad problem with desync and stuff, which I started playing Tarkov again. I died yesterday.
Bought another.
Yeah.
Do you what's your do you use the Mosin?
No,
Is it decent in that game?
it's fine if you're good with it. I'm not good with it.
Oh, I used it in PUBG. They added it. It's pretty much a Car 98 reskin, but I used it in the Russian maps. And I actually did pretty well with it.
I will always hate in PUBG how the VSS and like the 9mm pistols use the same ammo. Doesn't make sense. It makes me angry.
The VSS uses a rifle caliber.
9x39 in real like actually. But
I
whenever
mean, they're
Well,
not
wait,
lying. It does just say 9mm.
okay, yeah, that's fair, but
It's like generic. It's like just put it in there.
can you load 9x19 in your 9x39 Russian assault rifle?
We're gonna find out.
That's what we need to do.
Okay, so if a round is the same diameter, okay,
Are we talking bullet diameter or case diameter?
bullet. So like the bullet goes out the barrel and it's the same equivalent bullet.
The cases will be different.
That's the problem. But I was thinking is, could you potentially make a bullet that, like, if you have all your guns in service, be like the bullet is that diameter?
Yeah, it's called a straight wall case. I
Straight-
think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. Could you make it so like different guns could shoot it, but it's different different ammunition types and sizes?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's literally exactly what 22 is. There's 22 short. There's 22 long. There's 22 long rifle, and you can take a 22 short and stick it in your 22 long rifle, and it'll shoot. Probably won't cycle the bolt if it's semi-automatic, but it'll go.
Okay. Yeah, that
So we
makes
just
sense.
upscale that concept.
So it has to be a straight wall jack.
There's probably
Round.
some very clever way that you can do it without being straight walled, but I'm not going to think about that right now.
And it would work in like a semi-automatic too.
Well, you couldn't put something lower power in like a semi-automatic and expect it to cycle the slide or bolt or whatever.
Like 22, like a Ruger 1022. I can't put shorts in it.
You can put shorts in it. You'll just have to cycle it manually.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, but like a military standpoint, the problem with straight wall, isn't it that they're very low powered compared to like a regular?
You got to think about how like the geometry is calculated. Whenever you increase something's size in like 3 dimensions, it's cubed. Whereas whenever you just with a straight wall case, you're relegated to just making the case longer.
Yeah.
Instead, you can make the case thicker, and it takes up less volume while having the same. Hold on, how does this work? The surface area. Hold on. The surface area is less of. Oh God. Whenever you start scaling the surface area and volume, the volume will scale faster than the surface area is what I was trying to say.
Do you think I have autism?
Potentially.
I was just thinking about like if I was waiting for a bird to fly by the window so I could point it out. Like I don't know if I'm forcing myself to be the way I am or
I
if
think
I'm
so.
actually that way. You know what I mean?
I think to some extent people are just kind of like, I'm quirky.
That's why autism is a spectrum.
It's like, do you think like some people pretend to be autistic?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You
Like most of the people on TikTok that claim to be autistic
Yeah.
are
Like
probably
the-
faking it.
Did you guys see the video of like it was like girls with autism, like she shakes her
Yeah.
hands for the song thing, and it's like boys, and like he's
Guys
like,
with dude, I saw the one video of some guy dressed as like Joe Turreau deadlifting 500
Yeah, yeah.
pounds
Wait.
with like stand tall
Joe
playing in the
Turreau?
background. Joe Turreau, fucking anime character.
oh wait, is it?
Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my god, wait. So it's like the purple suit or whatever.
He's got like the suit and the hat and the chain on his side.
We need to have Jay on.
Yeah. I told him I wanted to have him and June on at the same time.
That would be interesting because they're both.
I don't know if June would say anything.
That's the point. We're gonna force him to say something, even
I-
though he's not good with English.
Ask him about the politics of Japan.
Did you ever see?
Now, which party is based and which one is cringe?
Did you guys hear about when like gave him a root beer?
No.
Yeah, he hammered it.
Yeah, like June chugged the thing. Like so like we're at the football game and I'm like, June, have you ever had a root beer? And he goes, no. What is root beer? And I'm like, okay, we're gonna get you a root. I'm gonna come over, like get a root beer. It's good. Try it sometime. And Lake's like, I got it. It's like this 10-year-old walks up, like opens up his wallet and he's got like $1 bill in there, like a single dollar bill.
A single
Yeah.
crumpled
He
dollar
like
bill.
picks it out, and like he like pulls it out, and he's standing there
This
with his
is my
gut out
life
as far as he can go, chest out, and he's like slaps it on the table. And he's like,
Emotions
one root
here.
beer. He hands him the root beer, and goes. And June just grabs it, and he's like, huh. Cracks it open, and like he drinks the whole thing in like a minute. Like he's like, I don't. He breathed like 3 times in that minute. It was amazing. But like he's like, that's good.
What is the legal drinking age in Japan?
I'd imagine it's probably lower.
So-
Yeah, no, 21's like very high for the world.
So like my dad went to like a Japanese/Chinese restaurant. They did kind of both countries of food, right? And he went there and he asked for Dos Equis, like beer, like an import. And instead, the waitress thought he said hot sake. So, like, she came out with this little shot glass and set it there. He said he drank that thing. That thing was, like, flaming hot to him, he said. He's like, I'm not getting a hot sake ever again. Like a Dos Equis.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
Dos
It's
Equis?
too Japanese for me.
You know, what's the commercial?
Okay.
What's the commercial? You know, he's the most interesting man in the world.
Okay, right.
Yeah, that's the Dos Equis commercial. It's
Oh.
a beer. But, yeah.
I had
All
some
right.
question I was going to ask about Japan, but I can't remember what it was.
Like, I don't know how Japan's culture, like, changed that easily.
Oh, I remember what it was.
No, the Japan's culture was always that there hasn't been a change.
You really don't think there's been a change
No,
from
the
World War II
technology
to
has
now?
just changed.
Yeah,
You think
the
so?
technology's just changed.
If you look back at like their old paintings or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah,
It looks like anime.
not
They're very
necessarily art
similar
style, but
themes.
yeah, there's similar themes. Like I think
Oh, no,
one
the
time I
first
saw how they pointed
tentacle.
out how the
Oh,
tentacle
no,
themes were consistent throughout history.
Yeah.
You're telling me Tentacle has been around
Has
for
been-
that
yep.
long?
There is like some Japanese oil painting depicting that. Yeah,
Dude.
the culture has not changed.
What's
The
up?
nukes didn't do anything. It just made them stronger.
It's like they're soaking up the radiation.
They're like the ghouls.
Honestly, Japan's such a weird place. Like, I'd like to go there, but at the same time, I'd probably hate every second of it being there.
I'd like to see the countryside. I'm like that about pretty much every country. I'd like to see the countryside.
Like
I
the
absolutely hate cities.
Nature
anymore.
areas.
Yeah,
Did you see,
like in the Wolverine in that movie, how they had
Oh,
the
yeah.
little village.
That was a good movie. Wait, when the ninjas ambushed them and, like, they shot them with, like, 100 arrows?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I just remember the landscapes.
Like, legit, they were, like, shooting them with bows that, like, had, like, strings connected so, like, they could hold him back. Then, like, he has, like, 100 of them in his back and, like, he's still running. He's like, because it's a Wolverine.
How much force does it take to pull a barbed arrow out of you?
I don't know.
Depends on the barb.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Have you ever had a barbed fishing hook get inside of you?
No, never. I've gone fishing like twice in my life.
It's hard to get the barb out. Like, if it's like I had it, so, like, it was, like, under my skin. So, like, the barb, like, the triangular part of the barb, you know, it was completely under my skin and I couldn't get it out properly.
How do you remove barbed stuff? Because I know like
I yanked it as hard as I could
That was
and it
what I
ripped
was
my
saying.
skin. It was painful.
Yeah, I know like books and TV and movies and stuff are always like, oh yeah, you gotta push the arrow back through through them. Because if you pull, that's gonna be like a very that's gonna be a very messy wound. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be easy to staunch the
But it's
bleeding.
like you get hit with an arrow and it's only in like an inch. And they're like, we're gonna have
It's
to
like,
push
you
it the
gotta-
rest of the
you
way
gotta
through.
the rest of the
And
way
it's
through.
like right in your belly button.
It's like, no, please.
Make sure the fletchings stay intact.
It's like it goes through like your spine too. So
I feel like they would cut most of the shaft. Oh, I don't know. You'd have to have enough shaft to keep pushing it through.
So if you get stabbed, is it better to take the knife out or leave it in?
Keep the knife in.
Is it?
Yeah.
But like
It'll stop some of the bleeding.
the thing that I always thought about was like, so with like,
For any British listeners,
yeah, like they're
Yeah, but-
like open combat with machetes.
the thing about knife fights is they will probably retain the knife and go in for another stab. Knife fights aren't slow. Knife fights are, I'm gonna basically tackle you and then jab you in the stomach as many times as I can.
So I was watching the self-defense video, and the guy was saying, he's like, if somebody comes at you with a knife and like they're trying to mug you, he goes, the knife most of the time is just for an intimidation factor. He said the guy's really not that much more dangerous with the knife than what he is without it.
I would disagree.
Well, like you could punch
you
somebody
never know
in
with the person.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like
it depends on the
That,
person.
that's
But he said, like, if you're, like, if, say, like, they grab a knife, and, like, a really, like, I'd say a common, like, thing is, like, they push you against the wall and have a knife to your throat, and they're like, give me your money, or else, you know? He said just punch them right in the windpipe right there. He goes, because like when you punch them,
Right,
they're not
because
going to go into you.
Your hands can move faster, like moving how many feet, and all their knife has to move is 2 inches.
Yeah.
Right, that makes sense.
No. Like
The reasoning is that they're
sarcastic.
not really willing to use them.
Really,
so
yes,
if you
yes.
punch them, but if you punch them in the
Would
throat,
you take
they're not
that
going
call?
to. Okay,
Right.
so if I punch you in the face, you're not going to fall into the fist. You know, you're going to fall away. So if I punch you right in the throat, you're buckling over and you're going to go on defense mode. So you're going to pull back into yourself. You know, you're not going to go in and be like, you know, if I punched you, like okay,
Yes, I know what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah. So like that's the idea. They get it off you, and then they said, you punch them in the throat, then you kick them in the balls, and then you punch them in the throat again.
And then you
Or wait,
kick
I
him
might
in the
have that
balls again.
backwards. Yeah,
You
but what
punch him in the
happens is,
throat again.
like, it's like if you punch them in the throat and then kick them in the balls, or I might be getting it backwards. You kick them in the balls,
Kick
then
'em
you
in the
punch them in the
balls
throat,
first.
and then you kick them in the balls again. They'll throw up, and it'll jam their windpipe, and then they'll like pretty much drown in their own vomit.
Sick.
Yeah, it's like terrible. He's like, don't do that, because then you'll kill them for sure.
Sick.
So like if you're in a fist fight with somebody you don't want to kill, don't do that. I'd probably forget that though.
The thing about it is, would you take the risk of
Kicking them in the balls.
of a lot of times, I'd say that they aren't there to kill you. They're there for your wallet. And if you resist, I'd say 90% of the people will probably just be like, ugh, too much. I don't want to deal with this. And they'll turn around and run away. But do you want to take that 10% chance of this person saying, you know what, I'm just going to slit this guy's throat and leave him here to die? That's not... Because I can guarantee that as soon as you start moving, if they are that 10% who's willing to kill you, they're just going to put a little more pressure on your throat, and then you're done.
You know, this going back to our previous conversation, like you know how some people act like they have autism but they don't. Right then would be a good time. You just keep yelling, like you just go, "You're confusing me!"
What?
Right at him, and he might be like, "Whoa, calm
Cover
down."
your ears and start yelling.
Yeah.
Self-defense tactics act like you're
No,
autistic.
just wear a hat. Just wear the hat that says "Please be patient, I have autism." Everywhere you go,
Yeah.
so people don't mug you.
Yeah. People would be like, "I don't want to mug him. He's
Well,
got
you
autism."
might be a target, but like if I was going to bug somebody, I would pick the mentally disabled person because
But that's the thing, though. If
they're unpredictable. But I'd say that you could also probably intimidate them.
I'm gonna
too.
clip that.
have you ever had somebody that like had autism like go after you though? It's frightening, dude. I was there and like it was at a band thing. It was a football game on a Friday
of course,
night.
the autistic kids. in a
Ethan, do you
band
remember
thing.
this?
No.
We were over at this other school and like there was this big kid and like he was younger than me, you could tell, but he was like a lot bigger than me. But, like there was something not right in his head.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
I
thought it was
remember this
funny
now.
to start hitting me, and like you know who was this one girl, she was like egging him on to do it because that's like she didn't think it would get bad, but like he started like swinging at me and I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm heading back, goodbye, dude, and he like started coming after me. And then like my
Dude, I'm imagining some like 4 foot tall dwarf just like
no,
was a
he
big
was my
guy.
height, and but he was like, he was huge. I mean, he was probably like 300 pounds. He started
Like-
coming
like
after
fat,
me
like
though.
muscle.
He was fat.
He's
yeah, like,
moving.
he was big.
dude. Once he gets moving, that momentum ain't stopping.
He was moving after me. And then my one buddy that went to school there, he like came out and he's like, whoa, do not hurt Brooke, please. And
is
the
a
kid had
friend.
like an extra t-shirt. Like he had like he like slung it around like a towel and he whipped my buddy right in the throat, like right on his Adam's apple, and like I'm gonna call him Ivan for now, but Ivan like buckles over and he's like gagging because he just got his throat jammed by a t-shirt, like he got whipped, and I'm like, this kid's gonna kill me.
2 men found dead after autistic rampage at football game.
Yeah, but it was such a terrifying experience. Like unless you like, I'm like, I don't want to hit this kid.
You don't want to hit. You don't want to hurt the mentally.
He could
deficient
hurt me a
little
lot
goblin.
easier than I could hurt him. Like if he stepped on me hard enough, I'd die.
For the listeners, Brooke was standing up, acting this all out while he was
Yes,
explaining it.
I was. Yeah, but
Bathroom
like and
time.
comment if
Koner needs to piss.
Koner, we have a large black toilet in that bathroom right there for you. Yes.
He's confused.
Round the turn. It's a black toilet. It's the only one I've ever seen, to be honest.
Dude, that's been like a half hour.
On his tablet?
I don't know, man. I didn't look.
Okay.
I was pieing the doorway.
Okay.
You don't pie the doorway whenever you go to the bathroom?
Did you guys ever, like, I'd seen him, like, back years ago when, like, YouTube Kids was, before that was a thing. And, like, there was all, like, the videos of, like, Minnie Mouse takes a lethal injection. Like, videos like that. Like, did you ever see that?
No.
Yeah, like, there's messed up videos for, like, kids, but they auto-generate them. Like, did you ever see, like, pregnant Spider-Man meets Elsa from Frozen?
I think I saw my brother
What?
watching some of those before.
Yeah, dude, they're everywhere.
They're
If you look up
horrifying.
on YouTube.
They're auto-generated?
Yeah, like some of them, but there's animation. Then there's like Peppa Pig murdering her family, but like they're like terrible. Like, and then
An undisclosed group is trying to indoctrinate the children to work for their own means. I wonder who this group could be.
An undisclosed.
so what it is they're getting money from it because the kids see Peppa Pig and they're like, that looks like Peppa Pig, and like the adults see it and they don't look into the video. They just see that their kids watching Peppa Pig. You know, they can't tell the difference because it's the same animation and stuff. I mean, you can definitely tell it's like not the quality as the original, but it's really disturbing stuff. But like this stuff was like really big back in like 2017, 2019, up right until YouTube Kids became a thing. But even then, the stuff's still out there. It's really messed up. I'm trying to think of what else they did.
Interesting.
Yeah, but like, yeah, there's all kinds of videos like that were out. But like, honestly, did you guys ever sit there and think like on YouTube, the amount of videos uploaded right now, like you wouldn't be able to watch all of them in your lifetime.
You just now figured
That's
this
probably
out?
a good thing.
Yeah, but it's incredible to me. You know what I mean? It's like the idea, like counting, like you
You're
can't
telling
count
me
to this
I
number.
cannot consume all of the information available to humankind in my lifetime.
There was probably a point,
You're telling
And
me I
human
cannot
civilization.
consume.
like I'd like to go back. Like there was a time and like there was a point in human civilization where that number became too much for a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Like all knowledge, that's
Like
always been
all,
too much.
all human knowledge accumulated.
That's always been too much for
Yeah,
a lifetime.
Because
I
there's
gotta
always
disagree.
been more than one person on the planet.
Well, I meant like just knowledge in general. Like, you know, like say
Yeah.
like a tribe of
Right.
people. You
Yeah,
know?
but every
Knowledge
single
gets
person
destroyed and
exists.
created constantly, just like how history is supposedly written by the victor, which is true to a certain extent. That's going to curate what knowledge is available for the future generations.
Did you guys hear that they think that
Sounds
the
like a
Egyptians
dictionary.
used vibrations to move the blocks?
What?
Yeah.
Are they talking about like the sand plate stuff?
I don't know. It was like they were using water and vibrations to
Oh.
move, like the stones.
Okay.
You know, like it was so easy to do. You know, you just vibrate a block enough, and it
They just-
rises up and sits on the top of the pyramid. And then they were, and I was like, yeah.
They just hooked up their Bluetooth speakers and played the Among Us
It's like,
trap
listen,
remix.
guys. Bass boosted Among Us.
Do you think it was Alien's Brook?
I don't know.
So what do you think caused like for so many different cultures to build pyramids?
Honestly, it's probably the stupidest idea possible. Like, you could have spent that time making farms, you know, like making weaponry.
Well, okay, but like the thing about pyramids is that it's it's kind of like a cultural symbol, or like monuments and stuff like that. It's a
Oh, do you mean
cultural
like
symbol
why
that
so many
says-
why so many make pyramids?
Yeah, like,
It's like it
why
exists
some-
in Egypt, it exists
Yeah.
in South America, it exists in some other place that I'm
It's a lot of
forgetting.
it towards the equator too. You notice that?
Yeah.
It is weird.
I have an answer to this, and I'm just I have a theory to this.
I think honestly it's because it's an easy to make shape.
Yeah, that's pretty
It's
much what I was
structurally sound.
thinking. It's a
Yeah,
structurally
yeah.
sound,
That's what I
easy
was
to
gonna
make
say.
shape, and it looks tall.
It's like imagine making a damn sphere.
Yeah,
It's like, damn, the thing rolls.
Man, I cannot work on this building. It keeps rolling away.
Every time I start on one side, it leans.
I'm chiseling this one side, but it keeps spinning on its axis.
No, I'll tell you what's interesting: the crystal skulls.
The only thing I know about those is the Indiana Jones movie. That was
Yeah.
garbage.
That was dude. They're real. Like there's actual skulls, but
we
they're
talked
made
about
of.
this on the first episode.
Did we?
Recap. Yeah.
No, we did.
The
but
Discord
like,
episode.
It's an actual damn crystal skull, but it's made out of a solid piece of quartz. And they found out that they're like, yeah, the amount of time you'd have like polishing and like working on this without any errors. Like if you made one imperfection, it would show, but there's no imperfections on this skull. They're like, it would take somebody like 200 years to make. So that's like 2 lifetimes of people working on this thing, and they had to have
How did
been
they know that
masters.
it was made by one person.
Well, regardless, still, you're telling me that like nobody made an error on this thing in 200 years, and like
How do you know they only started one?
that there's a couple of them. That's
How
the
do you-
problem,
okay,
but
so
they're
how do you
all
know
in
that
different
those-
locations. That's a weird thing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
They're in different locations too.
yeah.
That's bizarre.
It's weird. It's like, why would you like? It that doesn't match up with other artifacts that they make either. You know what I mean? And they're all elongated in the head.
Like the whole popular culture thing is that they're in like South America, but didn't I hear that there was some in like Turkey,
Yeah,
in that area, like Southern Europe,
I'm looking
pretty
this up.
sure.
Nope.
if the
Nope,
Wi-Fi
I'm
works.
If the
calling-
Wi-Fi
I'm
allows it.
calling that This is not true.
I could be wrong about the Turkey thing, but I know that
There's definitely. I think it might be like either Africa or Asia. Somewhere in there, they all like the Middle East. Kind of blends in. I forget it's Asia sometimes. Asia's a weird
Middle East
place
is
because you have Russia, but then you also have the Middle East and China.
Well, Russia is weird because it covers such an expanse.
I'm
'Cause
like,
it's both European and Asian. Like they can look full on white, they can look full on Asian.
yeah, that is weird. And then there's like the
It's not like it's just because it covers such a large expanse of land.
yeah.
It's
Like,
just that they're all considered Russian.
well, how did
by
that end up
nationality.
being like all Russia?
I think because nobody else wanted Siberia.
Russia's like
Cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's like completely. It's like they're
Okay,
on the
okay, bro.
Atlantic
Well,
Ocean and
the
Pacific
Think
Ocean.
of the
Western-
time period we're talking about. We're talking like czars.
Yeah, Western Russia became very Europeanized because was it Tsar Nicholas? Or probably someone before him.
Yeah, it was
Someone before him,
I think it was Alexander the Great, or
What?
There was an
Alexander the Great.
there was an
No.
Alexander.
No, I know.
There was
Ivan.
Ivan.
There was Ivan the Terrible and Ivan the Third or something. I think
Something.
My bad. Yeah. They
But
were the
one
great.
guy-
They were
Ivan
the
the
great.
Terrible was after the guy who united all of Russia.
Yeah.
One of their czars was very into French culture, and he like grew up in France or something, or spent a lot of time in France.
That
at
might
least,
be Nicholas.
And then he came back. Well,
No,
that's what I
there's a
thought.
Woman.
Although no, the revolution was
Catherine the
Nicholas III, right?
Catherine.
That's
Who was
what-
Catherine's wife or husband?
I don't remember. There was a.
I haven't looked up on. Russian
I was
history.
really up into this for a while, but then I really let out.
Oh, excellent. The piss room is open.
Exceptional.
You have to.
So yeah, but like Russia is such a weird place. But like what I was getting at was like how like expansive it is, and like if you look at European nations, like they're pretty small. But then
Yeah.
Russia just had all this, and like there wasn't really like I don't know how like I know Britain had like colonies everywhere, but they didn't really conquer and hold on to a country.
It wasn't really considered their land as in part of their country. It was
Yeah.
just part of their empire.
Yes, but like Russia was like
Although Russia was also called an empire. Did they have?
it
Was that just their
Russia's
land that they called the
massive.
empire?
Well, they had a lot more land, and then World War I happened, and I know they gave up Poland, and all the Slavic countries became.
Apparently, one of the arguments for why or in defense of the invasion of Ukraine is because Kiev was like the capital of Russia. I looked into that. It was something like there was a difference between the cultural and the political capital,
Yeah.
and it's one but not the other. Something like that. Don't take me.
How many years
as a
ago
news-
was that, though? Was that like World War One?
Probably
See, like
like a bit before the revolution.
that's the thing. That almost entirely everything that like has happened in the last 100 years has revolved around World War One. Did you ever think about that? Like everything.
sort of
Like
it kickstarted a lot.
Like
Although
give me
there
a
was lot
random
leading up to
scenario,
World War
like
One, too.
a random footnote in history. Like
Hold
give
on.
me a random like event that happened in
Are you
history.
talking about how like everything follows World War One?
Yes.
And seems connected to it. You're telling me that in a linear time, events follow a progression of cause and effect?
Yeah, but,
Really?
like, you can link everything back to Franz Ferdinand.
You can link everything to that one dumbass driver taking a wrong turn.
It's like, yeah, it's like the butterfly effect. It's like,
Although that was going to happen sooner or later.
how about this? If Franz Ferdinand was never shot, World War I never happened. Say, like,
It would have
do you-
happened.
telling
It
me-
would've
What do you
just
think
you're
would have
telling me
happened?
That if we changed some event in history, all of history would have changed, right?
Well, I don't know about all
I
of
never
it.
would have guessed.
I think some of it would still happen, but, like, what do you think? Like, I
World
don't.
War One was going to happen either way.
Yeah,
It's
but-
just a matter of when and how.
Do you think the sides would have been the same though?
The sides?
Yeah, like the Allied and Axis. Were they Allied and Axis back then? No, they were Central Powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were central. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But like, do you think it would be the same sides, or it was just because of those
This is
royalties?
such a moot discussion. Like this is.
I'm
just-
not well versed in European.
I know what I get what you
Culture.
mean, but like,
Although, like, what got us into World War One? Because
The
like, if we
government
wouldn't
did.
have
there's
been
a
in
couple
World War One,
things.
we didn't
Yeah.
really. We weren't very decisive in the end of World War One, though a lot of Americans say that we are. But like our involvement in World War One definitely set up our involvement in World War Two and everything else. That set us up for the superpower that we are.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Britain played us dirty both times and got us involved in the war
course they
because
did.
they
The
couldn't
Chaps
stand up.
played us played us dirt, but
Birdie. They were playing Birdie.
Yeah, some would say that bombing a harbor is considered playing dirty.
yeah.
Yeah, but like, think about it. Like, they Churchill knew Pearl Harbor was going to happen. Roosevelt, I guess, knew
Yeah.
too.
The
But-
American government knew.
Yeah, they didn't do
I've
anything to
never
stop
seen
it.
This.
You didn't know that?
Is it like they knew or?
Yeah, they were like, "There's probably going to be an attack on Pearl Harbor on this day," and they're like, "Huh? Oh, we're not doing anything."
There's a lot of things in history where it's like there's documentation that the U.S. government knew all about it.
Like 9/11.
Yeah.
Oh well, that one's obvious.
Did you know they took out an insurance claim? Like
For the World Trade Center.
for the World Trade Center. Yeah, I'm not even making that
Who
up.
was insuring the World Trade Center?
Yeah, they insured the World Trade Center right before it got hit. Or it might have been there was another bombing, but there was like one of the attacks.
There was the bombing. There was a truck bombing.
Why do they always gang up on the poor World Trade Centers?
It's a big target. And it makes
Yeah, but like
it's a war of.
I
hearts
guess
and
now that they
minds.
don't exist, we don't think about them like that as much. But like back then, they were more. It's like, okay, if you had to target a building, like, and
If I
now
wanted to
it's
get
like,
my- if I
where
wanted
would
to
you
get
even
my
do?
message across in
The
a
DMV.
suicide attack?
DMV.
It's government. It's local.
That is just not the way to get your message
It's like-
spread. Like
No, but everyone's gonna be like, "Do you hear a guy bombed the DMV?"
local man bombs DMV with truck.
Oh my god. Well, it's like, what building is it? Is it really? It's like the World Trade Center wasn't. Was it a government building or was it just like a trading building?
That's a good question. I don't know if it was
I
government.
thought it was like an
owned.
office building. And there was a lot of other stuff going on inside it.
It was like
I
it was
don't
owned
know.
by somebody. Well, they had an insurance
So what-
policy on it.
Yeah, I mean, was it like a private office building?
It was a private building because the guy took an insurance policy out on it before it got attacked.
Right.
But like, we forget that like they attacked the Pentagon too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there were, you know,
because the Pentagon isn't like some big.
you don't have
social
videos
symbol.
of the Pentagon collapsing.
No,
Isn't there a video of the Pentagon getting hit from like a
There's
security
a plane.
There's a
angle?
video of it getting hit, but it's not as
well, it didn't really collapse.
sensationalized
Yeah.
as seeing two large towers literally crumble upon themselves.
Well, they said that they thought that Flight 93 was going to hit the White House, but it would make more sense for it not to be the White House and make more sense for it to be the Capitol building, honestly. You ever think about that?
Well, the White House would be sort of more symbolic.
It would be more symbolic, but you do
They'd
a
both
lot
be
more damage
symbolic,
by
like,
doing the Capitol building.
That's what I really remember about, like, this is sort of a tangent about how video games have sort of lost artistic value. But one of the most poignant symbols from a video game I can remember is Modern Warfare 2,
The
where you see
nuke?
the Capitol building under siege.
Oh no.
Oh.
That was
What were you going to say?
No Russian.
That too.
too.
Yeah, that was Modern Warfare 2. I never played the Modern
Which
Warfare.
one was the nuke detonated in? Was that one?
Multiple nukes detonated. One had a nuke
No,
detonate in a
I-
city. I think, 2 had a nuke detonate over the capital, but it was high up enough that it would just EMP the city basically,
Just
which is how
bathed
that
you
works
in
apparently.
radiation.
I think I'm going to super chat Tim Pool tonight.
Or you want to do your segment begging Tim to let us on?
Oh, yeah, I forgot I had to do that. Yeah. Tim, please let us on. What are you doing? No, I know, but why'd you just sit there? I mean,
You had to
you're,
walk very far from the side.
you like got up, walked in. Okay, but anyway, Tim, please let us on the podcast. We are a sensational group of people, and we will do whatever you ask us to when we get there.
Whatever.
We will. I will bring the power
We'll
of
bring
the Trans
geese.
Am. What?
We'll bring Roger and Roy.
Well, I'll bring my goose, or I'll buy you a goose. I'll bring a goose to
As a
put in
peace
Chicken
offer,
City.
You can put it in Chicken City. That
Yeah.
wouldn't go well.
It actually will people put geese in their chicken coops all the time.
It depends.
Does the
well,
goose
chickens,
just like assert dominance over the chickens?
Well, it like protects everything. Like a hawk won't mess if there's a giant. It's like
but chickens get really territorial if they didn't grow up or they weren't introduced to another animal.
yeah, but the goose
Well.
will do fine.
The goose will just kill anything that opposes it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not going to attack chickens. It's going to just hang out with things like it. The chicken's enough like a goose that it's going to be
Can we do
fine.
a scientific test of this?
Yeah, there's a video on
I
YouTube
think the
of this
goose
guy.
would be okay as long as the chickens don't freak out, and I don't think the chickens.
I think the chickens would accept
handle
it.
Chickens.
You just have to put a swimming pool in your
You have to
chicken
introduce them
city.
slowly. That's how we got That's how we got our one chicken to be comfortable with turkeys. We had them in cages and we put them next to each other, and they sort of socialized, and then they're okay with each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, Tim. You need a goose, and we can supply that goose. So please let us on the show.
We're not that far. We heard you were hanging around in Altoona.
Yeah, you were in Altoona.
Not that we're in Altoona.
We aren't in Altoona.
Yeah.
We're
What they
about
said.
50 miles west of Altoona.
I
That's a lie.
don't think they'll catch up on the fact that we are being facetious here.
Yes, but Tim, we can talk about some current events. We can talk about gas. We can talk about Tom Wolfe. We can talk about pretty much anything
We
you
talk
really
about that
want.
sick Telecaster you have on the wall behind you.
Brooke just really wants to be on.
I want to be on the
Timcast.
show. I want to meet Tim.
That was the original goal behind this podcast. Whenever we
Just
talked about
wanted
it
to-
at work.
this entire podcast we
It's all a
orchestrated.
ploy to get on Tim.
It's just to get on Timcast.
As soon as he gets on Timcast, he's just gonna drop everything.
I will, honestly.
It's
I
just like me with World of Tanks. Once I get the mouse, I'm done with that game.
Honestly, I was thinking about War Thunder. I'm like, what plane do I want to just say I'm done? I don't want to unlock anything else because it's like nothing after World War II excites me.
What do you mean? Like the Cold War jet fighters are pretty cool.
Cold War
Corsair.
Leopards are pretty cool.
I like the Corsair, but that's it. And the Corsair is just a biplane, or not a biplane, just a regular plane. But Tim, let us on your show, all of us. I'm talking the entire cast, all of the guests we've had, and we will ever. Tim, please, I will bring the Mosin too, so you can shoot the Mosin. You can drive the Trans Am. No, that's a lie. You're not driving the Trans Am. I'll let you ride in the back seat of the Trans Am. T-top's down too.
Backseat bitch in the train.
We'll take the hatch off. You can ride in the back like Chum Bucket.
Yeah, chum bucket. Pool bucket.
Chum Pool.
Chum pool.
No, that's worse.
Chum pool. I guess his name is Tim, so it does sound. But if you turn chum into a 3-letter word and you had to take one of the letters. But anyways,
Peak comedy.
peak comedy. Yes. But basically, Tim, we just want to be on the show. We're great. We're giant fans. Listen, I will. What's the thing that he has on? It's like become a member.
I think it's just become a member.
I'm gonna become a member of Timcast if you let me on the show.
What's that thing called? Becoming a member.
Please. I want to meet Ian. I want to meet Seamus. I want to meet the Sour Patch Liz. All of you. I want to see the chickens.
Are the chickens at the studio, or is that his private?
I have no idea,
residence?
honestly.
Because his private residence is in another state.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like at first, he was like really like you know how like he's been getting like swatted all the time.
Yeah.
It's like because like it's very easy to figure out where he is because like he gives hints all the time.
Yeah.
As long as you listen to like 2 episodes a week, you got everything you need to know.
He's right in this area where like several states overlap just well enough that you can consider it one local area.
Yeah, he's like minutes away from Maryland. I'm also minutes away from West Virginia and Virginia, and it's like, oh, you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he gave a specific county one time, and I'm like, dang.
He gave a specific brewery, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, actually, you could figure it out really easy because we looked up like all the breweries
Yeah.
to see how common they were, and they were actually really easy to pinpoint.
Not to sound threatening, but
that
we
does
did
sound
some
extremely
reconnaissance.
threatening. Yeah, I was like, I think he's close. It's crazy.
Now, if you can get me his license plate, we'll be in
Memorizing a
business.
license plate. Well, that's the thing. He said he has like a diesel truck.
And
Like,
a
he had to
Jeep.
Does
Says
he have a
he's putting
Jeep?
a winch on his Jeep.
He has a winch on his Jeep.
No, he's putting a winch on his Jeep.
He has a Jeep.
Yeah, he has a Jeep.
Tim, you have too many cars.
You say as you have a Tacoma and a Trans Am.
Yeah, Trans Am. Listen, the power of the Trans Am, there's no boundaries. I'll put a winch on my Trans Am fishing rod holders. I'm serious about that, by the way. I'm gonna make like so I can unclip it.
The winch or the
The
holders?
fishing rod holders.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that would look really funny.
Has that gone on enough? The Tim bit.
Yeah, I think it has.
Oh, thank God.
I'm sorry,
Tim bits are a good cereal too.
Connor. Do you listen to Timcast IRL?
No.
Why?
No, I've never listened to it.
Connor listens to Girls and Panzer soundtrack on
That's
repeat
right.
while playing Stalker.
I do.
I don't I can't do it. I can't watch anime. I have never watched an anime. Well, I've seen like bits of an episode, but I've never like wanted to watch it.
I've watched 2, and one of them was incredible, and the other one was very good.
What was the good and incredible one?
The very good one was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and the incredible one was Girls und Panzer.
So,
Yeah.
did you ever watch? A lot of people say about
Is this Gay Dragons?
gay dragons.
Not gay dragons.
Ethan, I want you to tell the story about how you found out about gay
so
dragons.
River was watching this anime that he called Gay Dragons, but he never told me what the actual name of it was. So in my attempt to relate to my friends and their interests, I googled Gay Dragons, and it brought me to some interesting images. I never got closer to what I was actually looking for. And
Honestly,
I
I thought the name of it was Gay Dragons
Yeah.
with you.
We all thought it was Gay Dragons, but no, he meant Dragon Maid. And now he has a Dragon Maid decal he's going to put on his truck.
Mom is very upset. I would be too, honestly, if my kid had an anime
Yeah.
sticker.
If you put an anglerfish
Yeah,
on
that's
your
what
car.
I would be fine if it was Yukari. Then
If it was
that,
Yukari, yeah.
That'd be the only time.
I got a
it'd be okay.
Yukari light up figure. I'm
I
gonna
can't
put on
take
my
it,
desk.
guys. I can't do it.
You just wouldn't understand, bro.
I don't. I
While
guess
we're on the
I'm-
topic of Girls and Panzer, that's why my album is so delayed. The instrumentals and everything has been finished for several months, but I'm too lazy to do the vocals because I'm too
So-
busy watching Girls and Panzer.
So what's your new album going to be called?
Anoncore.
And
Anon as in the 4chan
as in
term.
not QAnon.
You can look at it that way if you want.
Okay.
Anoncore.
Anon.
And then I might have to change the cover art because I paid this guy to do cover art, but Pepe the Frog is like an actual character. I don't know if I can use that, so I might have to do alternate cover art.
That's a shame. You could do like an off-brand frog.
The whole point is that it's Pepe. I'm not just gonna have a random frog on screen.
Kermit. Lord.
Kermit's also like a
Yeah, that's still
trademarked, copyrighted character.
Yeah, but what's a character that's like been around so long that like anybody can use it and not get in trouble?
Copyright laws are really weird.
they got
Walt
fucked
Disney
up by
did it.
Disney.
He's an
Who's-
asshole.
Copyright Hitler, and he also looks a lot like Hitler, or looked a lot like Hitler, and he sympathized with Hitler a lot.
It happens.
He also made a bunch of like training films for the U.S. Army.
He did.
Yeah.
He
I've watched them. Like
Donald Duck was what was it? Donald Duck was a SS soldier or something in one.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lake.
Thanks, Lake.
I want to get a T-shirt with that SS Donald Duck. on it.
SS Donald Duck. Who doesn't want an SS Donald Duck shirt?
So like you have to always have to clarify because you could be talking about like the SS Donald Duck, which is
The
probably
ship?
a boat. Yeah. There's also SS Donald Duck.
No, the Schutzstaffel Donald Duck.
Yeah.
So I need to get a Schutzstaffel cap.
It's like
Not for any ideological reason. I just think they look cool.
there's an SS group hanging by the pier. It's like, you mean the ship, or do you
Okay.
mean there's like an SS
I mean,
battalion?
this is like common knowledge at this point. But Nazi uniforms, best looking uniforms
Yeah,
of the war.
they're hot.
I like Cold War Soviet uniforms, just because of the trench coats. I'm a trench coat guy. What can I say?
Do you know the
Do you wanna-
Nazis
do you
also
wanna
had
go
cool
sit in a-
trench
do you
coats?
wanna
Yeah,
go
but they were
sit in a
leather, weren't
trench?
they?
Is that
They
what
were
you wanna
leather,
do?
yeah. They were black leather that went along with.
Well,
the
they had
Hugo
black
Boss
leather,
uniform.
and then they also had the
The gray ones.
the gray
the
ones. And they were
troops used.
wool. Those were really cool. I wouldn't mind having one of those.
Yeah, the Wehrmacht had good uniforms.
Now, what was it? The U.S. had like an OD green and like a slightly browner wool coat, but it was like one was like real like a bright green. They used it in the Korean War, but it was a trench coat. There's a difference between a trench coat and a great coat. So a trench coat is like lightweight, but the great coats are like heavy wool. So that's the difference.
Is there like a specific weight if you go over your trench coat stops being a trench coat?
No,
and
it's
turns
the
into a
material.
tree?
Like a trench coat is like the I can't think of
Okay.
what it's called. What's the like a raincoat material almost? Not rubber though.
Gotcha. It's like,
Like
a,
the precursor to Gore-Tex.
Kinda, yeah.
yeah, what he said.
Yeah. It's like them like tan trench coats people in the city always wear.
No.
Like in the 1950s, like they had the the detectives.
They don't
they'd
wear them
the
anymore,
trench coats.
Brooke.
Yeah, but they had
But
the
if they
fedoras
did,
and then the trench
that would be
coats.
Kino.
That's a good point. Why did like neckbeards not also wear trench coats?
Because they're the first people that would be associated with being someone that would put something in that trench coat that could be used to harm others.
Yeah, but they already wear fedoras.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like a
Why
gun.
would they conceal their katanas though?
They want to be seen.
It's like
How would you concealed carry? Because I can't get my CCL, but
concealed carry a katana?
no, just like a handgun.
I was gonna say you
A
don't need to
handgun?
conceal carry a katana. You can open carry that.
That's just gonna get my CCL to be able to conceal a katana on my person. I'm gonna
I
get,
mean,
like, a
depending on the time of
wakizashi or
year,
something.
I'd probably wear a shoulder holster under a jacket
Yeah, no,
because that's like comfortable.
For
Yeah.
you'd be talking guns or katanas?
Guns.
no.
Okay.
We're gonna.
I was gonna say
I'd
I'd do like a back one underneath the
Right now,
underneath.
or no,
my
I
trench
can't
coat.
say that. I do not concealed carry at the moment because I am not old enough to conceal carry.
I have a
But
black
if I
powder
would,
revolver.
real smooth.
I would. What's it called? Appendix carry.
Appendix carry, yeah.
But I've gotten into tucking my shirts in, which does not work with appendix carry.
Did you ever see the guy concealed carrying the like the pistol shotgun?
Like a double barrel?
No, it's a pump. It's
No.
considered. I think it's considered a pistol. But it's a
No.
shotgun.
Are shotguns like that?
No, it's like a pump shotgun. No
There's weird
pistol
laws
grip.
about it.
Yeah.
If the bore size is so large or something, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like a 12 gauge pump at like
The
870.
NFA doesn't make sense.
And
Yeah, no,
he's
I know
got,
what
like,
you're
tucked
talking
down
about.
his
It's
leg.
the Mossberg 590 Shockwave, I think.
Yeah, but he's got that thing tucked in his pants, and like you can't tell it's there.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta wear baggy pants.
Like how Travis Bickle carried his stuff. You ever seen Taxi Driver? It's a good movie.
No, but I was gonna say, did you notice how in the 90s everybody wore real baggy clothes, and now we're wearing like really tight clothes?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I don't know.
I like the 90s better.
I think tight clothes are
It
more
wasn't
comfortable,
around.
honestly.
I still wear baggy.
I don't like the feeling of the pant legs rubbing together whenever I'm walking or anything.
I wear like 2 size up jeans just so it's more comfortable when I work. And like that's the thing. If you wear real tight like pants, you can't move as well. So it's not practical.
You're not as mobile.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have to get used to them. I can move fine. Look at this. Look at
Well,
this.
then you rip them.
Look at
when
this
you,
mobility.
Like, move too
Do
much.
these look ripped to you? No,
No, that's because you are.
because I'm ripped.
You're supposed to say thank you.
No,
Okay.
I won't
I
accept.
refuse.
I won't accept false compliments.
So But yeah, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off, unless there's anything else you guys want to hit.
We didn't get to the events on Twitter recently.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm part of a music scene. You could
Damn it! Continue.
You could say I'm part of this music scene called the e-punk community, and of course the big name is Negative XP, aka Shooter, and he recently got asked a question.
What is he shooting though?
That's a good question.
Continue.
You should ask him. But
Side note:
he-
Biden just called Putin a war criminal.
oh
continue.
boy, I can't wait to be drafted. But anyway, so Shooter, he had like a Twitter space, which is like an open. Like you can have people speak and stuff, like a voice chat type thing. I don't know. I don't use Twitter spaces, but this tranny asked him what he thought about trans rights, and Shooter essentially called him a faggot and laughed at him, which is what I would do if I was in a situation. But then this tranny, who I won't say his name because I think the point's been made well enough. He blocked Shooter, started blocking a bunch of people, and then I sent him one of my own songs, which is called You Will Never Be a Woman. And he didn't like that. And then he went off about how you're just mad that an ugly tranny has a girlfriend and you don't. I get more bitches than you, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I believe the term was gets more
bitches.
He said that?
Yes.
That's kind of offensive. You shouldn't call women that.
Yeah, as much as I joke about hating women and beating women and killing women, I don't like to call women bitches.
We're joking about that?
No.
Maybe some of us were.
No. It's like women, you should defend women. Because they're the, what's the word for it? They're very important for your society.
Defend women like they're resources.
It's like gold.
They are very expensive.
You realize how conductive gold is? That's why gold's so valuable. I'm more of a copper guy myself, though.
It's that one green text where the guy starts talking about aluminum and rusting and punches his iron-loving face. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know what it's doing? What? It's not important. Whatever.
My favorite green text is the guy who got his grandfather's Nazi cap and pistol, and someone breaks into his house.
And he's like,
and
I
he-
thought
he-
people like you didn't exist anymore.
He grabs a pistol and hat and goes downstairs naked, wearing only an SS cap and shooting this Luger at this guy.
That's so honestly, using old military guns is amazing.
That's why I want to get an SS cap and a Luger for home defense. Right now, I have a Glock underneath my desk.
What did your grandpa do in the military?
He was a cook in the army.
No joke.
No,
My
that's what he was.
my one great grandfather was he was a cook in the Philippines, in World War II. He was also the barber.
This was right between World War II and Korea, if I'm correct.
Really?
My pap. Yeah. So I don't think he ever left the States, but he was like, yeah, I got to see Elvis right when he was big because he was near one of our bases.
That's cool. My pap, I guess he'd always be put on like guard duty for like these comedians that would come in to try to entertain the troops, and like a couple of them were real nasty people. Like one time they were under fire, they were trying to get her in a plane to get her out of the base right away.
Wait, a woman comedian?
Yeah,
Impossible. Those
Impossible.
don't
Yeah.
exist.
yeah, but like what happened was like there was like bullets hitting the plane. And he's like, get in. So like he like pushed her from behind, and like when he did, like it was just pushing her from the back, you know, and like she spun around and slapped him in the face for pushing her from behind to get up the steps to the plane. Meanwhile, there's like bullets hitting the plane. It's like some people are arrogant.
I feel like your priority would not be like whether or not this person touched you if you are actively getting shot at.
That's the thing. Like people, like celebrities are like that. You know, they care more about their image than anything else. It's like
It's not just celebrities, but like
It
particularly
a lot of
celebrities.
It is kind of like a societal thing where people are more concerned about things that they've been told to be important and which aren't. You know, like they don't bother about the things that are actually important, and they're just kind of. I was told that this is important, therefore I will say it is important. I'm doing a terrible job of
You
explaining.
will
these
go to
types of
college. You
things.
will watch the
Yeah.
newest Marvel movie.
Yeah, those kinds of things.
I watched Spider-Man.
You
it was
will
very
pay
good.
taxes.
You will pay your taxes.
I watched Batman
Instead
too.
of-
It was
and,
good.
And what's being less emphasized is like, you will not have close relationships with friends and connect with people. That's not, you know.
You will not shake the vending machine violently.
You will not shake them. This is modern society. You will not shake the vending machine.
You will not wear car windows.
God, car windows, Carl.
That's something we should test in a video for the channel.
I have seen FLIR Flickr videos. FLIR, yeah. I've seen videos of people holding up car windows. It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Wait, what? Why do they hold them up?
Okay, so
'Cause-
I don't know whether it's like tempered glass or safety glass or whatever it is. Thermal imaging cannot see through car windows. So there was this whole thread on K.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a whole thread on K, and they were talking about, what weapon system is most terrifying to you? Like, the attack chopper, because it has thermals and it can just kind of float over you and hit you with a 20mm auto cannon, and you can't do anything about it. And then somebody brought up the whole fact about the car windows and stuff, and then another guy was like, yes, I'm going to make a medieval style suit made entirely of car windows with IR-resistant VHS tape wrapped around me, and by the day, people will laugh at me, but by the night, I will be a ghost that walks.
Okay. So hypothetically.
Hold on, I'm not done with it.
Okay.
So, next guy in the thread. He replies to the guy who's talking about his medieval suit of car window armor, and he's doing it from the perspective of the chopper gunner, and he's like, every time I see this guy, car windows Carl, he thinks that he can't see this man-shaped outline of moving car windows on the FLIR, but I keep laughing every time I see him and move the reticle off of him because it's too damn funny. So that's the legend of car windows, Carl.
Okay, I was gonna say, what if we were to so you know how we talked about weaponizing vintage 1980s cars?
Mad Max style, yes.
What if we put car windows all around my car? Would they detect it still?
No, but like,
What's this black blob moving 80 miles per hour?
It only goes. The speedometer only reads up to 80. Theoretically, it could go 140.
This thing's going 140 down an Appalachian countryside. They're like, what's this blob?
but the big brain play would be with this is to pick a fighting field already and place car windows in like other spots where you would be like set up at, and then they can't tell which one is just a car window.
So you're telling
and
me
which
that
one is you.
you're telling me like a car window, like what does it look like on the thing then?
It looks like a car window.
It's a car window.
It's just an area that you can't.
I
See,
guess
it
it's
won't
just an
detect
area
heat.
you can't see that's undetectable. It might just be like a black spot.
Okay, so
From what
like,
I've seen, they're
same-
just black spots.
say like I'm laying in a field and like I take a car window and put it over me entirely. So you're telling me it would just look like a solid
black rectangle.
just rectangle sitting in the field.
right.
You wouldn't be able to see anything underneath it.
Yeah, no, they can't see through the car windows.
That's terrifying.
How is that terrifying?
Well, that we have
Are
to use
you-
car windows to block out IR, but they can still see the car windows. Like, what
Yeah.
if you?
No,
Well, even if you cut it out to like make your shape, they'd be like, "There's a person laying there
I've
under a car window."
I've seen thermal videos of somebody. I don't know what material it is, but they will have a person walking on the left and then
Yeah,
a
I've
person on
seen
the
this.
right, and then they'll have some kind of material in front of the person, and you can kind of see their ankles and legs, and they're moving and they're walking,
Yeah.
and you can't really tell exactly what it is. But so that's horrifying.
My God.
I've had a Battlefield 5 glitch. It's
I'm gonna take a
horrifying.
photo of that.
Is
That's
that just
going on
what
the
Asian
promotional
people look
page.
like?
That's just Asian people.
That's a really upsetting stereotype.
So,
I got
Can you put that image so it like shows it?
yeah.
Okay, we'll have to do that because it's terrifying. Like, imagine you wake up, look out your window, and
that's
that.
what's summoned by the arrowhead.
Oh god, it's even on the full model.
Why are the fingers so?
So anyhow, yeah, but like, do you know how in like Predator he like rolled in the mud?
Mm-hmm.
Does that do anything actually?
I feel like you just heat the mud up with your body heat and you'd be visible.
Well, even if you got naked and did it, like you, if it's that cold of mud, I feel like you're gonna start like, depending on the area, like you might freeze.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
you'd die.
that's a problem.
Like, what if you had a
Predator was in like a jungle.
Yeah,
That wasn't cold.
that is true.
I haven't seen Predator, honestly.
That's the thing.
What? You've never watched?
You never watched
You
Predator?
haven't
like,
seen
the
Taxi
entirety of
Driver?
Predator?
No, I
No,
haven't.
okay. One of those is iconic, and the other one. is
Taxi
not.
Driver is iconic.
Taxi Driver's iconic. Remember, there was like the guy tried killing the president over
Yeah.
it.
There was an attempt to kill the president, and the guy replicated the scene from Taxi Driver.
He tried killing
What?
Ronald Reagan. Didn't you ever hear that?
No.
Yeah, he was trying to like impress the this like
He was trying to impress Jodie Foster, the
yeah, but
actress.
she was
from
like 12
Taxi-
at the time of the movie.
Yeah. I think she was older by the time the assassination
Oh,
happened.
no.
Yeah, but
Or
still.
attempt.
But like, yeah, they sum it down to like it was Taxi Driver. That's the reason Ronald Reagan almost got killed. But even then, it doesn't make sense. Like a lot of the stuff doesn't make sense about it.
That's what I'm thinking. Once my hair gets to the point where it's long enough to be annoying, I'm going to shave it into the Travis Bickle mohawk and start wearing an M65 everywhere.
That's nice.
Except I'm blonde.
You know what song's good? Copperhead Road.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What you're
It's about
talking
moonshining. That's all.
All right.
You reminded me of that because it sounds like the guy has a mullet and is wearing a field
Dude,
jacket.
wait, hold on. He
No,
sounds like he has.
He has a
mullet?
mohawk.
And the way
Did
the
I
song
say mullet? I meant mohawk.
Mohawk. No, you said mohawk. I was just saying. Like I could see you growing your hair out and do like a mullet, and it would look really bad. But
I would only do the mullet if I also had mutton chops to go with it.
like I'd want you to do the full Joe Dirt mullet. Did you watch
Yeah.
Joe Dirt?
No.
That's an iconic movie. That's a good movie. People make fun of you if you watch Joe Dirt, but honestly, it's funny. I like Joe Dirt.
You must not watch Joe Dirt. You will watch the newest Marvel movie.
You will no longer consume mug root beer. You will drink the kombucha.
Did you ever think that Barks was called Bangs?
Yes,
You did?
Yes.
You're actually one of those retards?
I am. I couldn't read cursive. They never taught me in school. Yeah, you guys probably can. Can you read cursive?
We're younger than you.
Yeah, but they reinstated it. Didn't you know? Like they're teaching
That
people
was
cursive.
after we got through.
Yeah, it's frustrating. They're like, you don't need cursive, so they basically screwed Gen Z. Now Gen Alpha over there, he's gonna be fine.
No, I learned cursive like
I think he's gonna have a lot more problems than you know.
than
just
cursive.
yeah.
Like doing Fortnite dances.
No, like nuclear war.
Cursive is pretty bad.
Yeah, cursive's pretty bad.
Like, why is cursive even a thing? Is my
What
first
does
question.
Putin think
Like,
of cursive?
Did print become
Oh, wait, no,
before
that's a different
cursive?
language.
It's just faster. It's easier. Like
Did-
I don't.
But which
I don't
one
even
came
know
first, print or
print,
cursive?
and then they just kind of evolved into cursive.
Are you
Countries
sure
with the
about that?
Cyrillic
People
alphabet have their
simplify
own
all the
version of
short-
cursive?
You sure
I
it's
bet
not like
every single country has every single alphabet and language has some version of cursive, whether they call it cursive or not, like in their language, or maybe it's just kind of like their simplified shorthand version of their language. Because all cursive is just taking their letters and then making it flow together, so you can just kind of scribble your hands. And
Well, it
make
was so that
words.
they wouldn't waste ink.
that's a good point.
Much, yeah.
Ethan, what time are we at?
We
Way
were
too
at
long.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay, I think we might have to do this into a two-parter.
Yeah, I was about to
You
say.
want to make a two-parter?
Yeah, we could do that, but I want to end it on a bang. So we're gonna do
I don't have my pistol on me.
we're gonna do fast questions for Connor.
fast
Okay.
questions for Koner.
I'll ask a question, then you ask a question, Ethan. Okay.
Do
We're
you
gonna
not
do this.
these like mapped out beforehand? Or?
No.
No.
I just want simple
Oh, God.
answers.
How's
We're
this
gonna
gonna
do it
work?
fast, like bam, bam, bam. We're gonna overwhelm your mind. Okay.
Okay.
This is the whole
Hit me.
point. Okay. Favorite color.
Dark red.
Favorite Sabaton song?
Versailles.
One kind of gun you'd want to shoot.
All of them.
No, one.
No, all of them.
No, you have to choose one. Dream gun.
Just one. Dream
Almost.
gun.
Yeah.
Yes, Val.
What are those socks?
I don't know. One's Under Armour and the other one's something else.
You wake up tomorrow and you're gay. What do you do?
Be gay.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing. Is
I don't have any more questions.
Ethan, you have to keep going.
I
Just
have to keep going.
random question.
How long is this gonna go on for?
Just do it.
What snack did you get earlier?
I got gummy bears
Why aren't you eating them?
because I ate them already.
How did you? You ate a whole bag of gummy
He
bears?
was eating them when he got in the car.
Yeah, I was hungry.
I didn't see that.
Also, the gummy bears were like $2.15, and I was not gonna get a drink for that. Like, you paid like $6. for
How's your
stuff.
sister?
I was like, she's fine. She asked me to go to the vet for her tomorrow.
How's your other sister?
She's I don't know. I haven't talked to her. I guess she's getting married sometime.
That's cool. That's cool. Least favorite camouflage pattern.
Ooh. Least favorite? Probably
Yeah.
UCP.
That's not the answer you wanted.
It wasn't. I was expecting like the lime green camouflage that like one of those southeastern Asian countries use.
Second favorite camo pattern.
Second favorite. M91 Winter. It's the Finnish camo.
Is that the splintery one?
Sort of.
Like the Swedish one?
No, yeah, no,
That's-
it's Finnish. It's what the Finnish use.
But is it similar
What do you mean?
to the Swedish?
Yeah. Hold on, let me just. I've got a picture.
Okay.
He keeps these pictures ready.
Yeah.
I
I
do.
do
They're on
too.
hand.
Just like I keep a picture of a chicken in my wallet, ready at all times, in case people want to see my cock.
Favorite food?
Macaroni and cheese is pretty good. I don't know if that's my favorite, but
Favorite Girls und Panzer character.
oh no, that one's hard. You saw as I was scrolling through my phone.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, Yukari's definitely up there. Now, whether Mika takes first place, I don't know. Maho's also definitely up there as well. I think I have to just go with Yukari, man.
I wouldn't expect Maho to be above Erica.
Okay, Erica's down. I just completely glossed over Erica too.
You're in the German army, 1944. You're defending
Dessert.
you're defending a hilltop. What tank are you using?
What tank am I
I don't think
using?
he gets to choose that.
No, he
I don't-
chooses.
I don't get to choose. What
You have to
tank I
choose.
get to use.
You choose.
I ditch the tank and I grab a rifle.
No,
and run
no,
off
no.
into the
You're in a
woods.
tank. You're in a tank.
I-
4
I'm not
lives
like-
depend on you.
I'm not like.
Is he the commander?
strapped to
He's the
tank.
commander. You're the
Oh,
commander.
okay.
Okay, I command everybody to desert.
No, you have to choose. Okay, that's cool. But you have to choose a tank.
Statistically, I
What
guess
tank are you
have to go
deserting?
with Panzer IV.
Which model of the Panzer IV?
The D.
The D. Excellent.
Is that the one with side skirts?
No, that came
No.
later.
I'd have to
Like
go
the
with the side skirts.
F2, I believe.
Yeah,
Is it an H? Maybe it's a G.
No, the F2 has the 75 millimeter gun.
They all have 75 millimeter guns.
Not
It's just a
all of
matter of
them.
barrel length. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, no, you're right. You're right.
Well,
you're
one
right.
has a howitzer though.
Yes, that is like the C and
Yeah, they're really
D,
they're
maybe?
they're. I don't
Yeah,
like them though.
They're the low velocity 75 millimeters, and the F1s and the F2s are where they changed that. I believe I could be wrong,
So HE rounds were actually the most fired round.
which makes sense because it wasn't
Yeah, because
all
most of the
tank
time.
on tank combat like
Yeah.
it is in War Thunder.
But they found that like the 75 millimeter gun that the Americans used, the tankers preferred the 75 millimeter to the 76.2 because you had a wider, like the 75 millimeter gun when it went off and like the HE exploded, it had more shrapnel in the area. It was like number 2 behind the 90 millimeter gun.
The more you know.
Yeah. But the 76.2 is the worst.
Are there any tank rounds that are necked? I've only ever seen straight-walled tank rounds.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the 76.2 was.
Okay. I might just be mistaken then.
I think a lot of them were.
Really?
I might be wrong. I
No, I could be wrong as well.
I thought
because
is the 88 millimeter necked?
I have no idea. Like, I've never looked into this kind of stuff.
I never looked at the ammunition itself. You'd think so if it's a high velocity round, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be kind of important.
Yeah,
I
straight
think the
wall. I bet
88s
was
were necked.
what
I think the 88s were necked.
I want to say.
Oh
But-
yeah, no, they were necked. I don't
They
know what
were?
I was talking about.
Yeah, I bet like the lower velocity rounds were
Mm-hmm. It's a very shallow neck compared to
like a
A
rifle.
rifle.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's still necked.
Well, I think this is about the time we wrap up. So thank
Almost
you, Koner,
2.5
for coming on.
hours.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a really
I was
good
kind of
show.
Really abducted, but
Yeah. Okay. Anything you want to say, Mr. Goose?
No.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening in on our podcast tonight. Make sure to like and share this with your friends.
Listen on
Subscribe
Rumble.
to our channel on YouTube
Listen
and
on
Rumble.
Rumble.
Follow us on Rumble.
Follow us on Rumble. And
YouTube
make sure that you
sucks.
like our posts on Instagram and follow us there as well.
Yeah, Brooke manages the Instagram.
I do. And I do a terrible job at it. I don't know what I'm going to post. I mean, we don't do videos, so I don't know what to do. I'm just going to take pictures of random things, I think, and just start
Just
posting
like
them.
take a picture of your feet with the microphone and say, "Yeah, we're recording
Podcast.
right now. Podcast time."
Podcast PodChamp. What does PogChamp even mean?
it doesn't matter.
We're not getting into that
Let's go.
now.
Come on.
Okay.
End of the episode.
Thank you,
We're
guys.
done.
Have a good
Goodbye.
one. Stay beautiful, my friends. Make sure that you hug a loved one. Smile every day. And make sure you smile in the mirror right after you you brush your shiny teeth.
And say Bloody Mary
because-
3 times.
Do not say that. I'm superstitious. Don't do that.
How long does it take you to wrap up an episode?
It takes
we
a
get
while.
caught up in a lot of stuff.
We
Takes a
gotta
while.
wrap some stuff up. It's a wrap up.
Like we meant to end like an hour ago.
Yeah, I know.
What did we start talking about?
Oh, God, I can't believe it's actually closing.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
Overwhelming.
It just
I'd like to
ended.
thank my parents for raising me so well. Thank you, guys. Have a great one. Love yourself. That's all. Goodbye.